one, get one for $1 on sausage McMuffin, burritos, hash browns, and more. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
If you know your party's extension, press or say 1. To leave a message in our company mailbox, press or say 2. Spoiler alert, it will be full.
Representative.
Would you speak to your mother in that tone?
Speak to a real human being.
You shouldn't need to shout into the void to get your health insurance questions answered.
Pacific Source Health Plans. This is a real person. How can I help you?
Human service, not automated phone trees.
BECU. You've heard the name, seen the letters. But what does BECU stand for? Simply put, not-for-profit BECU stands for people. For charting your own path. For choosing what's right for members instead of what's profitable for someone else. Because they are the reason our credit union exists. So we do everything in our power to help them reach their financial goals. BECU. Power in people. All Pacific Northwest residents are eligible to join. Federally insured by NCUA.
Pacific Power is proud to support Oregon State athletics by providing the safe, reliable energy that lights our campus, keeps our laptops charged, and powers opportunities every day. From the classroom to the weight room, from groundbreaking research labs to research stadium, Pacific Power is always there to help propel our students and our community forward. Pacific Power, powering your greatness. Let's go Beavs!
On the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Turley hammers it. There's your 11-10 on its way. So long. Comes to the plate, swung on and missed. Strike 3. The inning is over. Drive to right center field. Temesbury going back, looking up, on its way. So long.
Beaver Baseball is brought to you by Oregon State Credit Union, the official credit union of OSU Athletics. Safeway. Stop into Safeway, your exclusive grocery partner of Oregon State Athletics. The Barbers, where guys go for great cuts. And by Pacific Office Automation. Problem solved. PacificOffice.com. Play ball! Now let's get ready for the first pitch.
Will be delivered momentarily by freshman right-hander Cooper Walls for Hawaii against hometown hero Iva Arquette. But before we get underway with Game 3, a little past 1 o'clock Pacific time, or 4 o'clock Pacific time, 1 o'clock in the middle of the Pacific. Let's pause now 10 seconds for station identification. This is Beaver Baseball from Learfield. Cooper Walls, a right-hander, ready to go to Iva Arquette as we get underway. A little cloudier than it has been. Gorgeous 83 degrees. And the high we're experiencing right now, it's going to cool down to 81 before the ball game is over. The first pitch to Iva Arquette is taken for a strike. 0-1 the count. Iva at .359, 16 homers, 55 runs batted in, 0 for 2 with a run scored yesterday. He scored 4 runs in the series. The strike one pitch Iva takes. And Cooper, who tends to fill up the zone, is ahead of the count, 0-2. We gave you his numbers earlier on our Seven Feathers Casino Resort pitching matchup. Seven Feathers, your place to play. The strike two breaking ball tapped up along third, foul. No balls and 2 strikes to Iva Arquette. Iva has scored 4 runs in the series, and in the opener went 2 for 5, 3 runs with a run batted in. He's leading things off with the Beavs, who are trying to get to 3-0 on the weekend. Hawaii, indeed, a tough out yesterday after the Beavers romped Friday night 11-4. Much different kind of ball game yesterday. The Beavers prevailing 3-2. Breaking ball buried into the artificial turf down and away, taken by Iva. 1-2 the count. Gavin Turley on deck. Wilson Weber to follow. Hallowed tones for that young man this weekend. Breaking ball. Arquette hits it high and foul down the right field line. A long run for Jared Quant comes to the edge of the Beavers bullpen. The ball lands therein. and the count remains 1-2 to Iva Arquette. Gavin Turley and Wilson Weber to follow. Joey Wong, arms folded, coaching outside of third. I really enjoyed the conversation with former Beaver national champion, second baseman, became Darwin Barney's successor at shortstop. His dad, David, born on this island in 1959. Arquette takes a fastball, inside corner, strike three called. So 3 takes by Arquette, who walks away kind of muttering and shaking his head. The long walk back. Not really a walk of shame. I mean, you just open up a ball game, you're seeing a guy for the first time, but it is a surprising start. Ryan Gibson meets Arquette about 30 yards back to the edge of the Beavers dugout with this ample foul territory. Gavin Turley makes the long walk now to the plate. Arquette does strike out to open the ball game. And as a few more clouds move in and the winds blow and the temperature seems to be dropping down to that aforementioned 81 from 83, Gavin climbs in. 363, 15 homers, 54 runs batted in. The first pitch just outside to Gavin, ball 1. Gavin working on a 7-game hit streak, 11 for 28 during it. Just getting underway, top of the first inning. Wall's a quick worker, comes back with a slider in there for a strike. The count 1-1. Cooper Walls and Connor Palmera, the battery for the Rainbow Warriors. Ben Ziegler-Namoa at first, Shunsuke Sakino at second, Jordan Donahue at short, Kedron Kinsey at third, Kamana Nahaku in left, Matthew Mura in center, Jared Quant in right. Breaking ball strike to Turley, and Gavin is behind the count 1-2 with Wilson Weber next. Brady Casper, hands on his knees outside the first base coaching box. The 1-2 fastball to Turley, swung on and missed, strike 3, 2 down, and here comes Wilson Weber to the plate, and Gavin makes the slow walk back. He passes a little bit of information on to Wilson Weber, who strides to the plate. And I love his approach to the plate. He has his left hand down at the handle of the bat, his right hand on the barrel of the bat, and he's got a very distinctive stride as he comes to the plate. And the way he's been swinging it this weekend, he ought to be strutting up there. It's not quite a Janissary strut, but he's got a little bit of that in him. He looks at a breaking ball for a strike, and Cooper Walls filling up the zone here in the top of the first inning. 0-1 to Wilson. Weber has 3 hits in the series, 2 doubles, a home run, 6 RBIs. The strike 1 pitch is hit high and deep to center again, but playable. Mura moving over in the warning track area in right center to make the catch, and it's a solid beginning for right-hander Cooper Walls, following the examples of the guys that towed the slab yesterday for Hawaii. Sebastian Gonzalez, Freddie Rodriguez, and Isaiah Magdaleno were all good. The Beavers a little bit better with Dax Whitney and Nelson Keljo in the 3-2 win. And now Ethan Kleinschmidt coming off a career-high 12 strikeouts last weekend in a tough luck loss to Oregon. Goes to the mound hoping again to put up a 0, as did his counterpart, Cooper Walls. The Beavers go in order after half an inning as we get underway in Game 3 in Honolulu. The Beavers nothing, the Rainbow Warriors coming up on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Celebrating 25 years in business, the Barbers continue to offer a great old-fashioned barbershop experience. The Barbers understand excellent customer service and the unique grooming needs for all men. A great cut at a great price from the most experienced barbers around. Come in and enjoy a hot lather neck shape, beard trim, as well as a refreshing shampoo and scalp massage. Book same-day appointments now online by visiting thebarbersonline.com. The Barbers, where guys go for great cuts.
Take your business to the next level in 2025 with the tools and services to make running your business smooth and easy. WaFd Bank is here to help make it happen with options like credit cards, term loans, lines of credit, and cash flow tools like FinSync, so you get paid in hours, not weeks. It's never been easier to get the funding and tools you need to grow your business and meet your goals. Take on the new year with the best bank. Visit wafdbank.com or your local branch and find out why they were awarded Best Bank by Newsweek 3 years in a row. Member FDIC, loans subject to credit approval.
Bottom of the first inning, the Beavers were retired in order. Left-hander Ethan Kleinschmidt completing his warm-up tosses, getting ready to face Matthew Mura, Shunsuke Sakino, and Ben Ziegler-Namoa. Lindsey Meggs walks slowly across the ample foul territory to take his post at first base. Rich Hill back, ejected in the second inning yesterday back at his post as the third base coach, where he calls the offense for the Rainbow Warriors. Yesterday, Dave Nakama, like David Wong, a graduate of Willamette University. Dave Nakama ended up as the acting head coach after Rich Hill was ejected, arguing vehemently that Cannon Reeder had fouled a bunt and that it was not a wild pitch in the second inning that sent runners to second and third when Cannon had showed bunt. Hill seemed to get rather pretty heated about that whole thing, and whether he may have been trying to fire up his team, I know not, but he was thrown out in the second inning. Bottom of the first, Matthew Muria, the batter. Ethan Kleinschmidt to the plate. Fastball for a strike. The count 0-1. No score, bottom of the first. Ethan working with Wilson Weber, with Jacob Craig at first, A.J. Singer at second, Iva Arquette at short, Trent Caraway at third. The strike one pitch taken low and in, the count 1-1. In the outfield for the Beavers, Dallas Macias in left, Cannon Reeder in center, Gavin Turley in right. And behind Easton Talt in right, I should say. And behind Easton, a beautiful view of Diamond Head. And there's a line drive that takes us even closer to a look at Diamond Head into the right field corner, chased down by Easton Talt, and into second base with a double is Matthew Miura. Miura with a double to the opposite field, and Hawaii off to a good start, unlike the Beavers, who went in order with 2 punch-outs. Ethan Kleinschmidt giving up the double to open the bottom of the first inning. Ethan at 6-2, an ERA of 3.81, 59 innings, 45 hits, 18 walks, 73 strikeouts, a batting average against of .212. Ethan last week going 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned, a quality start to be sure, walked 3 and struck out 12 with a career high 104 pitches in a loss to Oregon in this Sunday game at PK Park. The first pitch missing high and away to the left-hand hitting Shunsuke Sakaido, puts a bunt down up along third, charged by Caraway, throws across to Jacob Craig for the out, but on the play, Matthew Miura advances to third. And Hawaii with an opportunity to get on the board first. They were on the board yesterday first and led 2-0 until the 6th, when one mighty swing changed everything, and the Beavers went from down 2-0 to up 3-2 and brought it home. Ben Ziegler-Namoa, the RBI leader for Hawaii, to the plate. Left-hand hitting senior, .333, 4 homers, 40 runs batted in. No score in the bottom of the first, but the Rainbow Warriors with a double and a sacrifice bunt have a chance to get on the board early. Kleinschmidt from the stretch delivers outside, ball 1. Eduardo Ruiz calling balls and strikes this afternoon. Matt McMahon at first, Michael Chukerman at third. Iva Arquette, the Beaver shortstop, playing nearly behind the bag up the middle. The 1-0 pitch from Ethan is outside, ball 2, 2-0. Jared Quant on deck. We've had sellout crowds the first 2 days. We have another one here, and in fact all 4 games are sold out officially. The 2-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 2-1. But not as many souls in the stands today. It's a good crowd, but we've seen some gigantic gatherings, and this one not quite as large, but the tickets have been sold. No score, bottom of the first. The 2-1 pitch is a line drive to left field. Macias coming in a hurry, makes the catch, tagging his Muria, and he will score on a sacrifice fly. Get him on, get him over, get him in, and Hawaii leads it 1-0. Excellent baseball. I mean, really good baseball we just witnessed. Muria for one, an opposite field double to right, sacrificed on the first pitch by Shunsuke Sakaido to move him to third, and then Ben Ziegler-Namoa with his 41st run batted in, a sac fly to left field, 1-0 Hawaii. You heard Joey Wong before the game, if you were with us on the pregame show, extol Hawaii for the quality of baseball they played. It's a good baseball team. We saw it throughout the 9 innings last night. It took every last ounce of effort for the Beavers, the one big swing, good pitching, and good defense to bring the game home. Jared Quant, switch hitter, has swung it well, takes low and inside from Ethan Kleinschmidt. 1-0 Hawaii, bottom of the first. Ethan back to the plate, fastball foul back. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. All stolen bases by the Beavers in 2025. Brought to you by Steel. And baseball, being good means being consistent. Consistency in outdoor power equipment. Steel strength. Real steel. Find yours. Visit steeldealers.com and go Beavs. Kleinschmidt's 1-1 fastball on the inside corner. Strike 2. 1-2. Hawaii on the board with a run here in the first. Double, sacrifice bunt, sacrifice fly. Quality baseball to be sure. Rich Hill in his 4th year. And a beautiful ballpark to sell on the recruiting trail. And certainly this place in that sense sells itself. An incredible environment. They've had one team in its history go to Omaha. The 1-2 pitch missing low, ball 2. Les Murakami, who's at the game today, took the Rainbow Warriors in 1980. 2-2 slider on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. Excellent pitch to get Jared Quant, who's been swinging the bat well. 2 hits yesterday for Jared and hit the ball hard and drew 2 walks in the Friday game. But Kleinschmidt able to come back and get him on the called 3rd strike. Hawaii, however, executes the game well. A double, sac bunt, sac fly, and after 1, the Rainbow Warriors won, the Beavers nothing, on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
At Builders First Source, we're proud to be the nation's largest supplier of home building materials with 14 locations in Oregon and Southwest Washington. Our team is driven to deliver for our customers and help solve today's toughest challenges. We offer expert advice as you shop our extensive selection of lumber, siding, windows and doors, roof trusses, decking, and more for your next project. You can count on Builders First Source to minimize your build times, maximize efficiency, and deliver what you need when you need it. Go to BLDR.com to find a location near you.
If you've been having your McDonald's sausage McMuffin with an iced coffee from somewhere else, now's a great time to reconsider.
In the Pacific Northwest, it's never too cold for an iced coffee in the morning. Grab yourself a medium caramel, French vanilla, or classic iced coffee for just $2.29. Warning, beverage may cause craving for McMuffin or hash browns. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Top of the 2nd inning in Honolulu in the Manoa neighborhood, southeastern corner of Oahu. 1-0 Rainbow Warriors. For the Beavers in the 2nd against Cooper Walls, who was impressive in striking out 2 and retiring the side in order in the 1st. It'll be A.J. Singer, Jacob Craig, and Cannon Reeder. Beaver baseball is brought to you by Umpqua-Dairy, a Northwest favorite since 1931. AJ at .331, a couple of homers, 29 runs batted in. AJ 2 for 4 yesterday, 1 for 3 with 3 RBIs on Friday. Cooper Walls misses with the first pitch, high and inside, ball 1, 1-0. Walls, a big right-hander, 6'5", 215 out of Carlsbad. The 1-0 pitch just misses inside on a breaking ball, ball 2. He filled up the zone last inning. Falls behind. 2 balls and no strikes to A.J. Singer with Jacob Craig next. The Beavers trailing 1-0. Breaking ball down. Ball 3, 3-0. The teams conclude the series late tomorrow night. 6:35 game local time, 9:35 back home. Singer takes the 3-0 pitch on the inside corner for a strike. The count 3-1. No red-eye flight available that the Beavers could be sure they could get on, so we'll be flying home on Tuesday, playing another ball game Wednesday. The 3-1 pitch, A.J. swings and fouls it at the plate. 3-2 the count. Again, Cooper doesn't walk many people, just 11 in 46 2/3. And he's come back from 3-0 to 3-2 as Cooper Walls on. A.J. Singer with Jacob Craig next. The Beavers trailing 1-0. 3-2 breaking ball misses inside. A slow hook that didn't quite come down enough for Walls. It's ball 4. Singer is aboard representing the tying run. And Jacob Craig, the big fella, strides to the plate. Now, I had questions from good friends asking about Wilson last night, who hit the 3-run home run. He was up there to bunt, or was he just showing bunt to try to perhaps impede the catcher's vision, which sometimes can lead to a passed ball, which in the case of last night, Wilson showed bunt. The catcher missed the pitch, and it went for a pass ball, and the Beavers moved up to second and third. Wilson Weber hit the next pitch with the bunt off over the center field fence. Craig swings, doesn't get it here, 0-1 the count. But I asked Mitch today and Ryan Gibson, the bunt was on for Wilson. That wasn't just a feigned move. He was, if he'd gotten a pitch, was going to bunt in that situation. It wasn't a stratagem to try to impede the catcher's vision. But as I said, that may have been the biggest moment of the game. A pass ball allowing Wilson to flex the muscles and hit the 3-run homer. Craig checks his swing and a pitch in the turf and takes a little low. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Beavers trailing 1-0 here. Top of the second inning. Jacob standing in at 247, 12 homers, 28 runs batted in. A.J. Singer held on at first by Ziegler Namoa. Draws a throw and gets back. A.J. was caught stealing yesterday. He's 2 for 3 on the season. A leadoff walk often leads to good things for the Beavs, as you well know. 1-1 to Jacob Craig, who's trying to follow with something good. Cooper Walls steps back of the rubber. The count, 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch clock was winding down. He disengages and now comes back ready again. The 1-1 pitch, good pitch in there for a strike. A little slider catching the outside corner, and Jacob is down in the count, 1-2 with Cannon Reeder next. A.J. getting his lead. He's the tying run at first. The 1-2 pitch to Jacob Craig, sliced down the right field line, deep and foul and well out of play, and once again bringing Diamond Head into view. Beautiful places across this island, and we were over on the eastern side yesterday, Makapu, Waimanalo, and drove by the tourists all climbing down the cliffs to go to the Burt Lancaster from here to Eternity Beach. The 1-2 breaking ball to Jacob Craig, down and away, ball 2, 2-2. Check swing, no swing, says Matt McMahon. That was Lancaster's idea. Fred Zinnemann, the director, was a very difficult shot. But Lancaster said, we need to go down to the beach. I need to be laying in the surf. I need to be kissing her while the surf comes in. And Lancaster got his way. The 2-2 pitch to Craig. He doesn't get his way. He swings and misses. Strike 3, 1 away. Cannon Reeder, the batter. Cooper Walls is looking good early. That's his 3rd strikeout. The Beavers' 15 hits on Friday have been rather quiet yesterday and so far early today. I see Jen Mays in the stands today. She's been part of a good group of alumni and fans helping to enhance the experience here, and a former Beaver baseball player who was on the trip here in 1979. Dave Underreiner hosted a gathering in the ballpark before the game. Some 40 or 50 Beaver fans participating in that. He bought out a section of the park. I think a number of those folks are sitting over there today, hoping the Beavers can get something going. They trail it 1-0 here in the second. A throw to first, driving Singer back to the bag. The pitch to Cannon Reeder, breaking ball, strike, and this kid out of Carlsbad is plying the zone. He did walk Singer, but for the most part, he's commanding his pitches. 3 strikeouts, 0-1 on Reeder. Cannon at 287, 4 homers, 18 runs batted in. He swings and grounds 1 foul outside of third, and he's quickly in a hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Cannon 0 for 2 yesterday, 2 for 5 with a run batted in the 11-4 victory Friday evening. If the Beavers are able to line up their pitching the way they want it, it's likely that Wyatt Queen will get the start tomorrow night. We'll be on the air at 9 o'clock Pacific, 9:35 first pitch. Reeder tried to check his swing on a breaking ball and goes around. Strike 3, 2 down, and Dallas Macias, the batter. The Beavers are having difficulty early against Cooper Walls. That's 4 strikeouts. 3 swinging, and it was Ivo Arquette who took a fastball for a called 3rd strike to open the game. Takes a while. Ted Williams talking to Von Hayes about the art of hitting, and Ted was maybe the greatest artist of hitting ever. A throw to first, and A.J. Singer back. spring training, Clearwater, Florida, circa 1985, 86, thereabouts. But talking to Von Hayes, and Von was getting frustrated about some of the things Teddy Ballgame was trying to impart. The pitch to Macias just outside, ball 1, 1-0. And Hayes was getting a little frustrated, and Ted said, come on, you're getting there, just keep at it. And then he said, do you not understand how hard this all is? The 1-0 pitch in their first strike to Dallas, and the count 1-1. Wise words. It is hard, even for Teddy Ballgame, and he was a masterful hitter, 344 lifetime, 521. But he knew how hard it was in trying to pass on the craft to a young Von Hayes. Macias tries to bunt for a hit. He gets the bunt down, fielded by the pitcher, Cooper Walls, and he throws a strike to first for the out to get Macias. This Cooper Walls is a good-looking kid, and he's gotten the Beavers out quietly in both the first and second innings. Macias trying to bunt his way aboard, is thrown out 1-3, and the inning is over. Yes, we watch these games, and I'm not sure we can appreciate it a la Teddy or Von Hayes or any of the guys that put on the uniform and the spikes and go out and try to play this game. But I think those of us who've been around it a long time do have some sense and appreciation of how hard it all is. And it's Hawaii, a ball club at 28-16. With a respectable RPI of 79 that has the early lead. After 1.5, the Rainbow Warriors won. The Beavers coming into the Warren Nolan RPI world at number 9 today. 1-0 Hawaii on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Discover the heart of innovation and growth at the College of Agricultural Sciences, the founding college of Oregon State University. Since 1868, we have served as the engine of science that drives progress, supports industry, and offers education and opportunity for anyone to grow into their fullest potential. Here, students become leaders who will shape the future of food security, sustainable agriculture, and natural resource management. The College of Agricultural Sciences at Oregon State University. Grow with us. Learn more at agsci.oregonstate.edu.
Hey Beaver fans, Oregon State's tradition of excellence is now a winning pairing with Willamette Valley Vineyards Classic Oregon Wine. As a proud wine partner of Oregon State Athletics, we invite you to join us at any of our locations for world-class Pinot Noir, Pacific Northwest-inspired cuisine, and one-of-a-kind events. Learn more and plan your visit at WVV.com. That's WVV.com. Go Beavs!
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Oregon State University. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
1-0 Hawaii to the bottom of the second inning. Ethan Kleinschmidt goes to work on Kamana Nahaku and misses with a fastball high and away. The 1-0 fastball, high and away, ball 2, 2-0. Already a slight difference in this ball game. The command. Now, Ethan Kleinschmidt pitched very well in the first inning. 14 pitches, but did give up a run. But he's not jumping ahead a la his counterpart. The 2-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 2-1 to Kamana. Nahaku at 289, a team leading 8 homers, 28 runs batted in. The 2-1 pitch hits Nahaku. And so for the second straight inning, Hawaii gets its leadoff man aboard. Yeah, it's all hard, isn't it? Yes. A double last inning, and a good job by the Rainbow Warriors to execute the game. They scored a run. Now they get their leadoff man aboard in the second. Zage Lancaster, the batter. Whether a descendant of the great Bert, I know not, but Zage gets his first appearance in the series. We'll see if Rich Hill is asking him to bunt. 1-0 Hawaii in the bottom of the second inning. Lancaster, the designated hitter, shows bunt as Ethan Kleinschmidt tosses to first. Rich Hill going through the signs outside the third base box. Zage Lancaster, spelled X-A-I-G-E, Zage, starting for the 23rd time this season for Hawaii. 1-0 Rainbow Warriors in the second. Kleinschmidt again throws over to first. Nahaku back. Kamana 5 for 10 in stolen bases. Mitch Canham, Joey Wong, Rich Dorman, and others greatly distressed by the balk call yesterday on the Beaver starter, Dax Whitney. Kleinschmidt set, comes to the plate, fastball high with the bunt taken off. Lancaster didn't show, at least on that pitch. 1 ball and no strikes. And that was what Rich Dorman, if you remember, if you were staying up really late last night, I said Rich talked to 2 umpires between innings. The 1-0 pitch, fastball in there for a strike, and it was while Freddie Rodriguez was warming up, in fact, that Rich engaged with the first base umpire, the home plate umpire, and said that wasn't a balk. What did you see? 1-1 the count to Zage Lancaster. Nahaku at first. Nahaku draws another throw and gets back. 1 ball and 1 strike to Zage. Kedron Kinsey on deck. The third of a 4-game series. The Beavers and Rainbow Warriors concluding it tomorrow night. Another throw to first. And again, Nahaku back to the bag. That is one of the serendipitous aspects of the run game. Kleinschmidt can handle both. A slide step and delivery, and the fastball is high. Ball 2-1 to Zage Lancaster. But clearly, attention is divided to the task of trying to get the hitter when there is a speedy runner on the bags, and attention must be paid to that guy, too. The 2-1 fastball on the inside corner for a strike. 2-2 to Zage Lancaster, a home state kid. He's out of Hilo High School, transferring in from New Mexico State, where he played in 2023. 1-0 Hawaii. Kleinschmidt to the plate. Slider taken. Strike 3 called. 1 away. Really nasty bite on the pitch, and Lancaster not muttering at all, just turned and walked away. The first out of the inning. The second strikeout for left-hander Ethan Kleinschmidt. Kedron Kinsey, the batter. Kedron hit a ball deep to left that Dallas Macias hauled in for the second out in the bottom of the 9th inning last night. All of Beaver Nation heaved a collective sigh of relief when that ball was caught. I know my good friend Rich Burke, listening in British Columbia, Kinsey takes a strike and the count 0-1, said that his heart almost stopped when I said a drive to left, because I thought, and a lot of people did too, when the ball went off of the bat of Kinsey last night, that he'd gotten all of it, and he may have. But those wonderful warm trade winds blowing across from left to right kind of knocked it down and allowed Macias to gather it in for the precious 26th out. The strike 1 pitch to Kinsey hit foul off to the right and out of play. 0-2 the count, bottom of the second, 1-0 Rainbow Warriors. Kleinschmidt again over to first base. Kamana Nahaku back. Kamana hit by a pitch to open the inning. The Beavers infield at double play depth and at conventional positioning for the most part. There goes the runner. The pitch is outside. The throw to second is not in time. Iva Arquette had to reach back to backhand a throw on the left side and couldn't get the sweep tag back. And a nice job by Kamana Nahaku in that he read all the moves by Ethan Kleinschmidt, then felt that he had him timed up. Got an excellent jump. Weber's throw, had it been right on target, instead of forcing Iva to his right to backhand, it might have been close. I still think the jump would have gotten Nahaku the bag. Now a chance to score a run. The pitch to Kinsey, fisted foul up along first. 1-2 to Kedron. With Hawaii leading 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Partly cloudy skies today. The winds blowing as they invariably do from left to right. Helping Wilson Weber's ball, although Wilson's ball didn't need much help. He pulverized it last night for the 3-run homer. Fastball from Kleinschmidt away. Mitch Canham used the word, an interesting word choice, when I talked to him before the game today about Wilson's swing. Mitch said eloquently, he annihilated that ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kleinschmidt delivers a change low. Ball 3, 3-2. Jordan Donahue, left-handed hitter on deck. First base open. 3-2 to Kinsey. starting for the 13th time this year for Rich Hill. 279, a homer, 6 runs batted in. The 3-2 pitch lifted down the right field line. Into foul territory goes Easton Talt, and the winds push it out of his reach and out of play into a party deck down in the right field corner. The Dave Underreiner gathering with Beaver Nation closer to the, in fact, outside. I see a lot of where those folks are sitting from Beaver Nation, hosted by David, who I'm not sure where David Underreiner was from when he came to Oregon State to play for Jack in 1979, but he's lived over here now for quite a while, and he's hosting a great contingent of Beaver Nation adjacent to the Washington bullpen on the field level. Kleinschmidt steps off the rubber. He did not balk, and they've got the runner between second and third hung up. Arquette shovels to Caraway, who puts the tag on Nahaku. 2 down. As you know, runners have been taking liberties with the Beaver pitching staff, and Kamana Nahaku, who stole second, got a little too frisky and got a big jump thinking that he had Kleinschmidt timed up. The word came, was communicated to Ethan to step off, and when Ethan did, Nahaku put on the brakes halfway between second and third. His best play would have been to continue on to third. The 3-2 fastball grounded to third. Trent Caraway fields and throws across to Jacob Craig, and just like that, the inning is over, and the threat of another run is quashed, thanks to the Beavers getting the out on the rundown. Good work by Ethan, and nice communication by the Beavers. As Mitch Canham said yesterday, when you're trying to shut down the run game, it's not just on the pitcher, it's not just on the arm, the pop time of the catcher, it's on everybody to communicate. And the Beavers cut down a would-be base stealer, potentially a very big out in this one, as the Beavers get the out, and then the ground ball out ensues. Kleinschmidt faces the minimum in the second. At the end of 2, Hawaii won, and the Beavers nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Relax and unwind at Seven Feathers Casino Resort.
Whether you're staying overnight in their award-winning hotel or lounging in your RV at their top-rated RV resort, all of their amazing amenities are available to you.
Dine at the new Cow Creek Marketplace, Cow Creek Restaurant, or K-Bar Steakhouse.
Pamper yourself with a massage, facial, pedicure, or all free at River Rock Spa.
There's something for everyone at Seven Feathers Casino Resort, I-5, Exit 99 in Canyonville. Your place to play. Proudly owned and operated by the Cow Creek Umpqua Tribe.
Hey there, Beaver fans. Holt Ag Solutions is proud to be your premier dealer for top tractor brands like Massey Ferguson, Fendt, and more right here in Oregon. With expert technicians and quality parts, we are here to support your operation from start to finish. Stop by any of our Oregon locations to see the latest models from Fendt, Massey Ferguson, and all your favorite ag brands at Holt Ag Solutions. Or call 888-HOLT-006 to talk with one of our ag experts today.
1-0 Hawaii as we move to the third inning at Les Murakami Stadium in Honolulu. Stop into any of your 39 neighborhood Dairy Mart stores and get what you really want. Fast. Real fast. Trent Caraway, Easton Talt, and Iva Arquette coming up against Cooper Walls, who has fooled the Beavers here early. 2 strikeouts in each of the first 2 innings. The freshman righty from Carlsbad delivers, and the first pitch missing down and in to Caraway. 1-0 the count. Trent 0 for 3 yesterday, 2 for 5 with 2 runs scored in the win on Friday. He takes a strike, and the count 1-1. 1-0 Rainbow Warriors. Good execution on the pickoff play. Ethan Kleinschmidt to Ivo Arquette to Trent Caraway, 1-6-5. Ground ball sharply short-hopped at third by Kedron Kinsey, who took the proper swipe at the ball. Didn't really see it. Look what I found kind of play, but he throws his opposite number out. 1 away in the third, and Easton Talt will be the hitter. Easton at .291, 6 homers, 27 runs batted in, and trying to shake himself from a prolonged slump and drop to number 9 in the order. But still a guy that can see a lot of pitches, get on base, began the weekend second in the nation in walks drawn. He shows bunt, takes a strike, the count 0-1. Easton did not start yesterday. He ended up coming to the plate twice and striking out twice after going 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts on Friday. 0 for his last 5 with 5 strikeouts. He takes down and in the count 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out, nobody on in the third, 1-0 Hawaii. After that spell of partly cloudy skies, the brilliant sun here on Oahu beginning to appear in the skies. 81 degrees as we go today, down about 7 or 8 from the first couple of days here. Talt takes a strike and the count 1-2. 1 out, nobody on, 1-0 Hawaii. Walls to the plate. Talt takes just outside, ball 2, 2-2. Easton would, if he heard Teddy ball game, would see, I do understand, Teddy, how hard it all is. The 2-2 change inside, ball 3, 3-2. Iva Arquette on deck. The breezes have quieted down a little bit. They come and go as trade winds, but right now the flag's not rippling much out in right center. The 3-2 pitch to Easton. Talt low and inside, ball 4. Nice to see Easton still have that touch. In the midst of his struggles, he's still able to take pitches. He drew 2 walks on Friday. He gets one here with 1 out, representing the tying run. And Easton is the Beavers' leader in steals. He's 9 for 12 on the campaign. Iva Arquette, the batter. Iva struck out looking to open the game. Easton held on at first by Ben Ziegler-Namoa. A throw to first, and Easton back to the bag. All saves in 2025 are presented by Wafed Bank. Wafed Bank, you deserve a best bank. Beavers used 2 pitchers yesterday. They've got plenty of firepower in the bullpen today if needed. The pitch to Arquette, grounded slowly to Donahue, feeds Shunsuke for 1, on to first, double play. Good pitch by Walls. He struck Iva Arquette out and induced him to ground into a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play ball. The Ted Williams query lives. We go to the bottom of the third. Hawaii 1, the Beavers nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Searching for a job, a mentor, or a candidate to fill your open vacancy? Find what you're looking for with alumni from Oregon State University. OSU Connections is a networking and career site exclusively for OSU alumni and students. List your Beaver-owned business in a directory, browse or post on the job board, talk to an OSU grad working at your dream company, or seek out advice as you change industries. Leverage your network at osuconnections.org.
Roth Home is your one-stop solution for all things home repair. From plumbing, electrical, heating, cooling, and even garage doors, we've got your home covered. Our team of expert technicians are ready 7 days a week to tackle any problem, big or small. We're more than just a home services company. We're your partners in maximizing home comfort. When your home needs the best, trust Roth Home, proud sponsor of Beaver Athletics. Visit us online at callroth.com or over the phone at 503-266-1249 and schedule your appointment today.
The Beavers have only scored runs in 2 of the last 16 innings. They trail it 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. Ethan Kleinschmidt getting ready to face Jordan Donahue, Connor Palmera, and Matthew Miura. May the 4th be with you. It's been kind of a force weekend, I think they're calling it here. Les Murakami all weekend long with John Williams' Star Wars music, Star Wars trivia questions, and so on. We recently attended Revenge of the Sith, a re-release of the film from George Lucas, the last one he directed in the series, and really enjoyed it. Jordan Donahue runs up as if to bunt, takes a strike, 0-1 the count. And after seeing it and knowing what Lucas did with the franchise, I have to retract something I've often said, somewhat in jest, but because I love it so much, it's not always been jokingly. Donahue, a fly ball to right and playable. Easton Talt locates and makes the catch straight away right field. Donahue flies to right. 1 gone in the bottom of the third. 1-0 Hawaii. Connor Palmera, the batter. I have often suggested that you can take all your Star Wars films. George Lucas's best film was American Graffiti. Now, I know it's not. But I hope some of you would agree with me that the quiet nature of that story, the low-budget nature of it, the one-night-in-the-life nature of it in Petaluma, California, cruising the gut in the various characters and storylines developed in that sweet, quaint film. No, it's not on the firepower level of Star Wars, but it's very good filmmaking. Connor Palmera takes a strike, 0-1 the count, 1 out, nobody on. 1-0 Hawaii, bottom of the third. Fastball to Connor, misses outside. 1-1 the count. The Rainbow Warriors getting a run in the first. And now Connor Palmera from the island of Maui went to Everett Community College, though, out of Kamehameha Maui High School. Hammers one to left. Back goes Dallas Macias to the track, to the fence, and he hit it out. 2-0 Hawaii. As excellent as Ethan Kleinschmidt has been in his first year with the Beavers, and in this his sophomore campaign collegiately, location at times has betrayed him, and he's paid a price for it. That's the 11th home run that he's given up, and that is by far the most allowed by anyone on the staff. And that pitch enabled Palmera to extend his arms, flex the muscles, and hit his first home run as a Rainbow Warrior. And that gives Hawaii a 2-0 lead in the third. Matthew Mura, the batter, takes high, ball one, 1-0. Connor Palmera, out of Kamehameha and Maui High School, began his collegiate career at Everett Community College in the Pacific Northwest, transferred to Cal State Bakersfield in his first year back in his home state, and he hits his first home run for UH. It's a long one over the left field fence and cutting through those winds, blowing across from left to right. 2-0 Hawaii. The pitch from Ethan is in there for a strike. 1-1 the count to Matthew Mura, who doubled in the bottom of the first and scored the first Warriors run. The 1-1 pitch, high and inside, ball 2, 2-1. As I mentioned, the Beavers have plenty of arms available thanks to the work yesterday of Dax Whitney and Nelson Keljo, a two-man show on the mound. Coach Dorman said in a perfect world, Wyatt Queen would be able to go tomorrow. The 2-1 pitch in the series finale here misses outside, ball 3, 3-1. That today perhaps a combination of James DeCramer, Joey Munt, Leif Palmer could perhaps bring this one home, but the Beavers are going to have some work to do. They're down again 2-0 as they were yesterday. Mura, a fly ball to straightaway right field. Easton Talt is right there again to make the catch. 2 down. Shinsuke Sakino will be the hitter. Yesterday, the Beavers were slow in getting started, and they really didn't ever get started per se. 3 runs ended up being enough to win on the big swing. 3-run homer to dead center field for Wilson Weber. But the Beavers have not been especially productive since the last 4 innings in the Friday night game. They've only, as I mentioned, scored in 2 now of the last 16 frames, and they're down 2-0. First pitch missing to Sakino. Kleinschmidt back. This is very high. Ball 2, 2-0. Kleinschmidt grabs the rosin bag. He's coming off a career-high 104 pitches last week. Rich Dorman was dubious about whether he could do that again in the much warmer conditions that Ethan is probably not well practiced in pitching here. The 2-0 pitch is high. Ball 3, 3-0 to Shunsuke Sakino. Ben Ziegler Namoa on deck. 2-0 Rainbow Warriors in the third. Kleinschmidt back to the plate. Fastball, a strike, and the count 3-1. Beaver Baseball is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota. Let's go places. Ethan back to the plate. The 3-1 fastball. Swung on and missed. 3-2 the count to Shunsuke Sakaino. Shunsuke 0 for 3 yesterday, 0 for 4 in the opener. A sacrifice bunt in the first. The 3-2 pitch misses for ball 4. The first walk allowed by Ethan, and Rich Dorman is going to make a long, slow walk out to the hill, covering the some 90 feet between the dugout and the first base foul line, crossing the line now to have a meeting with Ethan and the rest of the Beavers infielders and Wilson Weber, the catcher. Here in the bottom of the third inning, 2-0 Hawaii. No one up, certainly too early for that. The Beavs have pitched extremely well this weekend. The starters have worked well. Eric Segura and Dax Whitney with the bullpen of A.J. Hutchison, Kellen Oakes, and Nelson Keljo over 8 1/3. 3 hits and no runs. But it's still the starter, Ethan Kleinschmidt. Coming off a career-high 12 strikeouts in a loss last weekend. With 1 out, gives up a home run to Connor Palmera. Connor's first as a Rainbow Warrior. A 2-out walk to Sakaino. Now Ben Ziegler-Namoa, who had a sacrifice fly in the first inning, steps in, and Ethan misses high with a fastball. Ball 1, 1-0. Ivo Arquette shifts over to the right side of the diamond. A.J. Singer straight away and on the rim at second. Arquette just a step or two on the right side. Kleinschmidt's 1-0 fastball is very high. Ball 2, 2-0. Two balls and no strikes. The fourth hitter in which Ethan has been 2-0 on. He tosses to first a little bit high. Jacob Craig goes up to get it with Sakaino back to the bag. Shunsuke 7 for 10 in stolen bases. 2-0 Hawaii, bottom of the third. Rich Hill trying to communicate something across the way. I'm not sure to whom. It looked like he was talking to the umpire. Kleinschmidt's 2-0 pitch is outside. Ball 3, 3-0. Ethan will be making his 51st pitch here in a moment. Ron Duffy Dyer walking through the stands. Part of the gathering with Dave Underreiner earlier. The 3-0 pitch, a strike. The count 3-1, and Ron coming over. A little bit of a reunion, it feels like, for the 79 team under the great Jack Riley, bringing the team over here. Ron Dyer, Dave Underreiner, Bob Bishop, Bob McNair. Kleinschmidt's 3-1 pitch is high and away for ball 4. Tough goings for Ethan Kleinschmidt. A hit batter last inning, 2 walks this inning, a home run yielded this inning. 2 on, 2 out. Jared Quant, the batter. Quant struck out looking in the first. He's had the most impressive swings, in my estimation, of the Rainbow Warriors in this series. The switch hitter batting from the right side against Ethan, who's trying to rediscover the strike zone, delivers, breaking ball, a sweeper inside, ball 1, 1-0. Ryan Gorton, who does so many things in his role as a director of baseball operations, striding down to the bullpen. The activity will begin shortly. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. James DeCramer gets up. Kleinschmidt's lack of command in the inning leading to some work in the pen here in the third. It's not urgent, but Hawaii already with a run in the inning, leading 2-0, threatening again. The 1-1 pitch to Quant, high and away, ball 2, 2-1. James DeCramer begins a throwing program down in the bullpen. A couple of other catchers head down there. And Ethan trying now to put a stop to the struggles in the command department. Back-to-back walks with 2 outs. 2-1 to Quant. Breaking ball hit to center field and playable for Cannon Reeder. Cannon in dead center, backs up, makes the catch. The inning is over. Good work by Ethan. He was in a little bit of trouble with the lack of command, but he gets the third out. Hawaii does get a run on Connor Palmera's first home run in a Hawaii uniform. We'll get a station ID when we return, going to the top of the fourth inning. It's Hawaii 2, the Beavers nothing, on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
BECU. You've heard the name, seen the letters. But what does BECU stand for? Simply put, not-for-profit BECU stands for people, for charting your own path, for choosing what's right for members instead of what's profitable for someone else, because they are the reason our credit union exists. So we do everything in our power to help them reach their financial goals. BECU, power in people. All Pacific Northwest residents are eligible to join, federally insured by NCUA.
Mitch Cannon teaches his team the values of hard work, dedication, and swinging for the fences. That's the same philosophy at Umpqua Dairy. For over 90 years, they've produced award-winning ice cream. Just like the Beavers baseball team, Umpqua Dairy has picked up its fair share of national championships through the years. Check out their flavor of the month at umpquadairy.com and find their Oregon-made ice cream at your favorite grocery store. Umpqua Dairy and OSU baseball, a home run combination.
This is the RAV fourth inning, presented by your local Toyota dealers. Now, back to the game.
Through 3 innings in Game 3 here in Honolulu, the Rainbow Warriors 2 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. The Beavers, no runs, no hits, and no errors. Under the brightening sunshine, we go to the top of the fourth. Gavin Turley, Wilson Weber, and A.J. Singer, the scheduled hitters. 2 o'clock local time here in the tropical paradise of Oahu. Let's pause now 10 seconds for station identification. This is Beaver Baseball from Learfield. Cooper Walls delivers. Slow breaking ball to Turley. A strike. 0-1 the count. The freshman right-hander from Carlsbad fanned Gavin Turley in the first inning, induced an inning-ending double play ball from Iva Arquette last inning. A strike one breaking ball. Swung on and missed, and the count to Gavin 0-2. Turley, Weber, and Singer for the Beavers in the fourth, down 2-0. Cooper Walls and Connor Palmera, the battery. Ben Ziegler Namoa, the first baseman. The strike two pitch down and away. Shunsuke Sakino at second, Jordan Donahue at short, Kedron Kinsey at third with Kamana Nahaku in left, Matthew Maria in center, Jared Quant in right. 1-2 to Gavin Turley. Cooper kicks and comes to the plate. Breaking ball popped up into shallow right field. Going out is Sakino. Coming in is Jared Quant. The right fielder makes the catch. One away. And Wilson Weber, who flied to center field in the first, will come to the plate. The Beavers are coming home on Wednesday, actually flying back Tuesday, a long travel day and an early turnaround for a game against the Portland Pilots Wednesday back at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. And that's when the Toyota RAV fourth inning kicks in earnest with a lot of things on the line at Beaver home games. Breaking ball to Wilson, down and away, ball one. You could win anything from a new RAV4 or premium OSU baseball memorabilia, but you've got to be registered. Go to OSUBeavers.com/RAV fourth inning to register to win and follow along and watch what happens throughout the RAV fourth inning at home games. Go Toyota and go Beavs. Wilson swings and fouls one back. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2-0 Hawaii in the top of the fourth. Cooper Walls back to the plate. Popped up into shallow center field. Going out is the second baseman Sakino, and he calls and stays with it to make the catch in shallow center. 2 down, shades of yesterday indeed, and if somebody told me right now, yeah, you'll score in 1 inning again today, but you'll win, and all is well. But it isn't yet. 2 outs and nobody on. The Beavers don't have a hit. And A.J. Singer will be the batter. Only 5 hits yesterday. Wilson Weber made his count with a 3-run game-winning blast, essentially, in the 6th. Cooper Walls to the plate. Singer takes strike one. 0-1 the count. You know, the game is so hard. but I also think, and Ted Williams, Robert Wool's easy game from Bull Durham. The strike one fastball in there, strike two. Cooper Walls, just a nice, easy motion and filling up the zone. Makes it look like easy game. Play and catch, easy game. That's what he's been doing. And he's kept the Beavers quiet through 4. Strike two fastball away, at least through 3 2/3. A.J. Singer will try to shake things up a little bit. A.J. drew a walk in the second. Walls has issued 2 walks, but the Beavers still looking for their first hit here in the 4th, down 2-0. Cooper rocks, kicks, and the big righty to the plate. A chopper to the shortstop, Donahue. Jordan up with it. Crow hops and fires to first, and another easy game. 1-2-3 inning for Cooper Walls. The Beavers have been no hit through 4. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Hawaii 2 and the Beavers nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Weyerhaeuser, a global leader in sustainable forestry and wood products manufacturing, is proud to offer a wide range of exciting career opportunities at our mills, distribution centers, and working forests across Oregon and Washington. Along with competitive wages, Weyerhaeuser offers full benefits and career growth and development opportunities in a great work environment with great people. Get started by applying online at wy.com/careers. Go Beavs! Weyerhaeuser is an equal opportunity employer.
At the stadium or home, keep your cocktails local with Crater Lake Spirits, because great booze, happy people isn't just our motto, it's our personal guarantee. With every bottle of Crater Lake, you're getting Oregon pride distilled. Our spirits are a toast to tradition and a nod to innovation. Every sip is a celebration of the good times, the great outdoors, and the unbeatable spirit of the Pacific Northwest. Join us in raising a glass to victories, big and small. With Crater Lake Spirits proudly sponsoring Oregon State Athletics, we're here to make every game day unforgettable.
Are you 55 plus in our community? Have you ever wanted to be an Oregon State cheerleader? Well, P3 Health Partners can make it happen. Go to OSUBeavers.com/senior cheer squad to learn how, to learn more, and get involved with the P3 Health Partners senior cheer squad at Oregon State. Bottom of the 4th inning, 2-0 Hawaii. Kamana Nahaku will lead things off against Ethan Kleinschmidt, who's been pressed to make 56 pitches through 3. The first pitch here in the 4th misses for ball 1. That's been a little bit of an issue for Ethan today. Not filling up the zone on the 0-0 pitch. 1-0 to Nahaku, hit by a pitch in the second. Ethan back to the plate. Good fastball, swung on and missed. 1-1 the count. Nahaku, Zage Lancaster, and Kedron Kinsey in the 4th. Ethan working with Wilson Weber, Jacob Craig at first, A.J. Singer at second, Iva Arquette at short, Trent Caraway at third. Fastball down and away, ball 2, 2-1. Dallas Macias in left, Cannon Reeder in center, Easton Tolt in right. Gavin in the DH slot today. 2-0 Hawaii in the 4th. The 2-1 fastball foul back. 2-2 the count to Kamana Nahaku, who ended up getting picked off, trying to get a big jump between second and third after he'd swiped second. Beavers executed well and picked him 1-6-5. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kleinschmidt delivers, punched in the air, racing in is Singer, and he can't make the diving catch. It's a base hit behind the mound. Heck of a note. Great pitch by Kleinschmidt. Getting in on the fist of Nahaku. Singer was playing back up the middle, and he had the most direct route, a straight line to the baseball coming from behind second. But unlike Billy Martin and Dominic, I Need You, or some great Yankee fan, I think it was the 52 series, a bases loaded pop fly off the bat of Jackie Robinson with 2 outs. And the Brooklyn Dodger players running and running and running, and Billy ran a long way and made a running catch from behind the mound. Well, A.J. wanted to try to do the same, not quite the same serious august circumstances of that in the World Series. But he had a long run to make on a little pop-up that landed halfway between the mound and second base and couldn't quite get there. An infield single. Zage Lancaster takes high. Kleinschmidt's 1-0 fastball very high again. Ball 2, 2-0. Ethan not particularly sharp today, but he is such a craftsman in his own right, and mature and poised beyond his years. The sophomore lefty can work his way through these types of things, and he's trying to do so again. Tough break to open the inning. His 2-0 fastball, very high, ball 3. Wilson Weber heading out to the mound for a conversation with Ethan as James DeCramer gets back up and begins to throw again in the Beavers bullpen. That's a tough luck way to begin the inning. He made a tremendous pitcher's pitch, but that's baseball. Now Haku dropping one in between second base and the mound, and AJ just too much artificial turf to cover. An infield single opens the inning. Now 3-0 to Sage Lancaster, whom Ethan struck out in the second. Weber and Caraway in the conversation with Kleinschmidt. Wilson will settle back in. The Beavers would need to make a change on another visit now. James DeCramer was throwing. Now he stops. He's ready to come in should he be called upon, and he might be if ball 4 ensues here. We'll see. Kleinschmidt comes set. The 3-0 pitch is ball 4, and there are 2 on and nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. Kedron Kinsey, grounded to third in his first at-bat, is likely up there to bunt, but he won't do so against Ethan. Really disappointing outing for the young man. There was a full expectation that Ethan would shove it, as they say, meaning down their throats. Or perhaps you can think of other anatomical things if you'd like, but there was an expectation of Ethan to do just that, for the Beaver bats to liven up and get going. That's what we expect. That's why the game is, as Teddy said, don't you understand how hard this all is? Yes, yes. Seems as daily, weekly, we get some sense of it from the splendid Splinter and Teddy ball game. Ethan just not quite himself after 12 strikeouts last week. 2 walks last inning, an infield single and a walk to open the 4th. And Ethan Kleinschmidt, after 104 pitches and a career high, goes 65 today and comes out. The Beavers hope to pick him up, and James DeCramer will be the first to do so. Ethan, a tremendous young man. As I mentioned, poised beyond his years. He'll come back and have some great starts down the stretch, but he just didn't command the strike zone today. And he was wild in the strike zone, giving up a home run, and is down 2-0 to a resilient Hawaii club. The call to the bullpen presented by Wilson Equipment. Stop by any Wilson Equipment location for rugged, reliable Bobcat machines that get the job done. We expect the bunt to be in order when we return. 2-0 Hawaii in the 4th on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Established in 1983 as a family-owned business, Wilson Equipment proudly stands as an authorized full-line dealer of Bobcat compact equipment, serving the communities of Medford, Eugene, and Salem. Stop by any Wilson Equipment location for rugged, reliable Bobcat machines that get the job done, including tough Bobcat mowers, easy-to-use mini excavators, classic skid steer loaders, and new compact wheel loaders. From sales, service, rental, and hauling, Wilson Equipment has all your bases covered. Visit www.wilsonequipment.net, where you're guaranteed a grand slam.
If you've been having your McDonald's sausage McMuffin with an iced coffee from somewhere else, now is a great time to reconsider.
In the Pacific Northwest, it's never too cold for an iced coffee in the morning. Grab yourself a medium caramel, French vanilla, or classic iced coffee for just $2.29. Warning, beverage may cause craving for McMuffin or hash browns. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Bottom of the 4th inning, 2-0 Hawaii, and the Rainbow Warriors have runners at first and second and nobody out in the bottom of the 4th. Kedron Kinsey, the batter. The Beavers expecting bunt, and Kinsey does square against James DeCramer, and the bunt is bunted foul off the front foot of Kinsey. DeCramer's first pitch leads to strike 1, something that was problematic for Ethan today, falling behind most hitters. And in the end, issuing a 4-pitch walk to Sage Lancaster to spell the end of his day. Now, it's only 2-0, but the runners on first and second belong to Ethan. James DeCramer, as I mentioned, trying to pick Ethan and everybody else up. He's coming off the worst outing of his young Oregon State career. An inning, 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned against Oregon last weekend. James set, the strike one pitch. Kinsey showing bunt. Kedron takes down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kamano Nahaku, and again, these things, games can change so quickly. Ethan made an excellent pitcher's pitch, but Nahaku fisted a ball between the mound and second for an infield pop fly single. A walk, and now first and second, nobody out to Kramer set. Kinsey again squares. The 1-1 pitch, a bunt is fouled at the plate, and the count goes to 1-2 to Kinsey. Rich Hill going through the signs at third. Pat Casey at times would leave the bunt on with certain hitters with 2 strikes. I don't think Kinsey will have it on here. He nearly hit one out last night in the 9th. He is squaring. 1-2 to Kramer set. Now he pulls back to slash, and he swings and misses. Strike 3, 1 away. Good job by James DeCramer. Coming in to get the strikeout for the first out. Now the double play in order. Jordan Donahue runs pretty well. Left-handed hitter flied to right field in his first at-bat. But nice work by DeCramer. James is making his 11th appearance, 2-0, an ERA of 6.89, 15 2/3, 19 hits, 8 walks, 18 strikeouts. The left-hand hitting Donahue against James DeCramer. First pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. 2 on, 1 out. Bottom of the 4th inning. The Beavers winning the first 2 games of the series, but certainly yesterday was an arduous affair. And down 2-0. Same thing here today on this pleasant Sunday in Oahu. DeCramer said James's strike 1 pitch. Donahue hooks it deep and foul, well beyond the foul pole, and well foul in the right field corner. No balls and 2 strikes to Jordan. Connor Palmera, who homered last inning, on deck. Beaver Baseball is brought to you by Knife River. Knife River is building Beaver Nation and making communities stronger. Knife River, a people-first company. 0-2 to Donahue. DeCramer delivers a changeup, and it's lined into right field for a base hit. Nahaku will stop at third. He had to make sure the ball cleared the leaping attempt by A.J. Singer. Donahue able to get down out in front of a change and keep the barrel in play and pull it into right on the off-speed pitch for a base hit, and not quite the location James wanted with the change. It stayed up. Didn't sink as much as his good changeup is wont to do. And now Hawaii with the bases loaded and 1 out. Connor Palmera, who homered in his last at-bat. You know it's a tough game, right? You hit a home run, and what do you get for your troubles? Well, you get to be hit for. He blasted his first career home run, did Connor Palmera last inning, but Itsuki Takamoto, the starting pitcher in the opener on Friday, pinch hits here for Connor home run Palmera with the bases loaded and 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. DeCramer comes set with the bases full, delivers down and in, ball 1. 1-0 to Connor, to the pinch hitter, Itsuki Takamoto. Palmera hitting his home run off the left-hander Kleinschmidt. Now a pinch hitter, Takamoto, takes the 1-0 pitch a little bit low, ball 2, 2-0. Huge situation in the game right here for the Beavs, who've been quiet offensively. They want to dig too deep of a hole here in Honolulu. The 2-0 pitch way inside, ball 3, 3-0 to Takamoto. Pinch hitting here in the bottom of the 4th. Matthew Muria on deck. DeCramer needs to throw a strike. Takamoto might be green lighted with the sacks full and 1 out. The Beaver infield at double play depth. James delivers. The 3-0 pitch is a strike. Takamoto appeared to be taking all the way. The count 3-1. Kamano Nahaku at third, Zage Lancaster at second, Jordan Donahue at first. 3-1 to the pinch hitter Itsuki Takamoto. James comes set, the 3-1 pitch. A chopper to Craig. He will go to the plate for one, on to first, not in time. Jacob Craig getting the force out on the plate on a good throw by Jacob to get Nahaku. 2 down, the bases remain loaded. That's a big out. 2 of them now for James DeCramer, trying to finesse his way through a problematic bottom of the 4th. And a good decision by Craig to get the force out. He had no chance to go 3-6-3 there. He got the out at the plate to cut down a run. Matthew Maria, the batter, with the bases loaded after the fielder's choice 3-2. Muria has doubled to right and flied to right. Sacks full, 2 down. DeCramer set from the stretch, delivers fastball low, ball 1, 1-0. 2-0 Rainbow Warriors, but James DeCramer so far has done well. Bases full and 2 down. James comes set, the 1-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 1-1 to Muria. Jordan Donahue with a base hit on an 0-2 pitch. But DeCramer picking up for Ethan Kleinschmidt and out away from getting through the mess. Bases loaded, 2 down. The 1-1 pitch, line to center field, base hit. 2 runs will score on the play. Hawaii leads it 4-0. The Beavers throw back to first and get Matthew Muria picked off. But 2 runs score on the play, and Hawaii leads it 4-0. Muria taking too big of a turn and is thrown out, but that's an exchange he will live with. A 2-run single. Muria comes through with 2 outs when James DeCramer was so close to getting out of the inning. But Zage Lancaster and Jordan Donahue come in to score. Muria, a 2-run single, and Hawaii takes command. Beavers don't have a hit today. Hawaii has 4 runs and 5 hits. We go to the 5th. 4-0 Rainbow Warriors on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
With a great selection of new Toyotas, everyone knows your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, even your pet parrot.
Right, your summer starts here.
Well said.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends June 2nd.
Toyota, let's go places.
Established in 1983 as a family-owned business, Wilson Equipment proudly stands as an authorized full-line dealer of Bobcat compact equipment, serving the communities of Medford, Eugene, and Salem. Stop by any Wilson Equipment location for rugged, reliable Bobcat machines that get the job done, including tough Bobcat mowers, easy-to-use mini excavators, classic skid steer loaders, and new compact wheel loaders. From sales, service, rental, and hauling, Wilson Equipment has all your bases covered. Visit www.wilsonequipment.net, where you're guaranteed a grand slam.
With a great selection of new Toyotas, everyone knows your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, even your pet parrot.
Right, your summer starts here.
Well said.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends June 2nd.
Toyota, let's go places.
Oregon State Credit Union, the official credit union of OSU Athletics. You can join today. Visit OregonStateCU.com/join. Four nothing Hawaii as we go to the top of the 5th inning. The Beavers still looking for their first hit. Jacob Craig hopes to be the man, or at least get on base. The Beavers awakened briefly last night in the 6th inning on a 3-run home run by Wilson Weber, but they need more than that today. They're down 4-0. Cooper Wall's first pitch, breaking ball, foul back. 0-1 the count. Great piece of hitting by Matthew Muria. The Beavers were an out away from flipping the momentum in this one. And Muria, 2-run single to center. Breaking ball, strike 2. 0-2 the count. Cannon Reeder on deck with Dallas Macias to follow. Under the bright sunshine, brightening as we go. Jacob takes the breaking ball away, and the count 1-2. Beautiful day here in paradise. That's I keep reminding myself. It's great to be here, but painful to watch what's going on today thus far. Still, middle of the ball game, long way to go. Beavers trying to wake up here, down 4-0 in the fifth after winning the first two games of the series. And even plotting things out going into the stretch run in the 2025 regular season. First base umpire Matt McMahon coming over. I don't know if he's coming over to give a pitch clock violation, I think, or a timeout call, maybe a time by Ben Ziegler-Namoa as the pitch clock was winding down. Thus, Cooper Walls got his timing upset, and Ziegler-Namoa came over from first. A visit is charged with the first baseman coming over to talk to Cooper Walls. The count 1-2 to Jacob Craig. Cooper looking into the dugout to get the sign from his pitching coach, Keith Zuniga. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed, strike three. Cannon Reeder will be the batter. Cannon struck out in his first at-bat. The Beavers have struck out 5 times. They're still looking for their first hit, down 4-0. Plotting the rest of the schedule out to finish the thought, there was talk of just go win your series down the stretch. That included the Oregon series. Reeder gets the first hit, drilling the ball down the left field line into the corner. Rushing over to backhand it is Nahaku, but into second base cruises Cannon Reeder. A 1-out double, the Beavers' first safety of the game, and see if that may open the door for the Beavs. We're down 4-0. Cannon with a good swing and a double down the left field line with 1 out. Dallas Macias to the plate. But after getting swept in the 3 games in Eugene, I remember Rich Burke, my friend, plotting out, okay, here's the rest of the way. Beat Oregon, take 3 of 4 at Hawaii, sweep Long Beach State, beat Portland twice, take 2 of 3 in Iowa, and you'll host. Well, you got to kind of keep modifying the plan. If you, the Beavers didn't win that Tuesday game, so it almost felt like, okay, well, maybe they got to win all 4 here now. They've won 2, but they're down 4-0 in this one. Macias takes high and away. The 1-0 pitch is low, ball 2, 2-0, and it becomes, I think, almost a preoccupation for all of us who follow and care. Rich Hill asking for time and head out to the mound. And kind of the recalibrate. Okay, well, this happened. Now what do we got to do? Well, okay, that didn't go according to plan. Now what do we need to do? Whereas the Beavers players themselves and all involved on the day-to-day basis need to be worried more. Not so much, uh-oh, that slipped, now we've got to do this, now we got to do that. It is a kind of a pitch-to-pitch, it's game-to-game, but then within that, a pitch-to-pitch kind of proposition to keep in the process, as the phrase goes, and continue to believe that how you're preparing, how you're playing is going to translate into good things when it all comes out in the end. So whether you end up being an 8 national seed or not, whether you end up hosting or not, you certainly want to do both of those things, and there's still a chance, I think, given the Beavers coming into today with a Laura Nolan RPI of 9, UCLA at 13, UCI at 19, Oregon at 24, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo at 33, Washington at 67, Nebraska at 68, Iowa at 70, this Hawaii club at 79, all very respectable numbers, and opponents of the Bees. So all of it is still in play. 8, 16, but they just need to keep playing the game and not get caught up and, well, this happened, now we have to do this. It just adds extra pressure to what is already such a difficult game. And it's we fans and so on and people who follow these things who say, well, here's the threshold and what they probably need to do to get to where they want to go, and nothing wrong with that. The players just can't get caught up in it. Dallas Macias pulls one foul into the right field corner. There's a ball on the field, and we play on. The 2-1 pitch to Dallas swung on and missed, and the count 2-2. Somebody has raced down into the right field corner to grab that loose ball that was in foul grounds. and tossed it to the youngsters in the party deck down there. Meanwhile, 4-0 Hawaii in the fifth. Cannon Reeder at second. The 2-2 pitch to Macias has popped up on the right side. The pitcher calls, and now will give way to the first baseman, Ben Ziegler-Namoa, coming down the line in foul grounds to make the catch. 2 down. Trent Carraway will come to the plate. Carraway grounded out in his first at-bat. Has a chance for a run batted in. And it feels as though with Reeder getting the Beavers' first hit of the day coming in the fifth inning, Beavers down 4-0, that just getting one here would indeed be helpful, just from a psychological standpoint. Breaking ball to Carraway inside, ball one. 1-0 the count. No one throwing in the Hawaii bullpen. Cooper Walls has been tremendous. Freshman right-hander out of Carlsbad, California, comes back to the plate, delivers a little bit high with a breaking ball. Ball 2, 2-0. Cannon Reeder, a one-out double, the Beavers' only hit of the day. He's at second. The brightening sunshine here at 2:30 local time. The Beavers woke up in the middle innings yesterday, trying to do so again today. Turn by Cooper Walls, and he throws to second base. Back to the bag steps Cannon Reeder. Two 2-0 the count to Trent Carraway. The Beavers trying to get on the board. One threshold met, namely there not being no hit anymore. And now looking for a chance to get on the board, take a step towards coming back in this one with plenty of baseball left. 4-0 Hawaii in the fifth. Carraway grounds one into left field for a base hit. Cannon Reeder will be held at third. Left fielder Kamana Nahaku gets the ball back in. Joey Wong putting up the stop sign. The ball on this quick turf getting through the six hole in a hurry. 2 hits in the inning. Runners at first and third, 2 down. Easton Tolt, the batter. Some activity will begin now back of Cooper Walls, with the Beavers indeed here in the fifth inning coming out a little bit of an offensive slumber, and perhaps put into it by the work of young Cooper. But a double and a single, and the Beavers with runners at the corners. Joey Wong was kind enough to discuss with me the play at the plate in which Nahaku threw out Cannon Reeder in the Friday game. We were free to discuss it because the Beavers went on to score 4 runs that inning and win handily 11-4. Easton Toll takes a breaking ball, high and away, ball 1. 4-0 Rainbow Warriors, top of the fifth, but the Beavers getting 2 hits in the inning, their first 2 of the game, and now Ryan Gibson wants an offensive timeout. The Beavers hitting coach, with a count of 1-0 to Tolt, is going to bring everybody over for a conversation. That everybody in this case includes the on-deck hitter, Iva Arquette, Joey Wong, Brady Casper, the coaches, the head coach, Mitch Canham, the runners, Cannon Reeder at third, Trent Carraway at first, and the hitter, Easton Tolt, with the count his way, 1 ball and no strikes. That gives the right-hander beginning to throw in the bullpen back of Walls certainly more time should the Beavers continue to come out of their woes offensively today and keep hitting. Hawaii does have a right-hander loosening, with the Beavs hoping to put enough pressure on. Liam O'Brien, former Gonzaga pitcher, loosening up. First and third, 2 down. The Beavers trailing 4-0. Coach Gibson's had his say. Now Easton Toll, hoping that his bat will speak. Takes a strike, and the count 1-1. His bat has been pretty quiet of late, but he could not pick a better time to begin to come out of the slump. Cannon Reeder at third, Trent Carraway at first. 4-0 Hawaii in the fifth. 1-1, 2 down. Walls ready, delivers to Easton, hit sharply right at the third baseman. Kinsey knocks it down, stays with it, throws to first, and the inning is over. Easton hit it pretty hard, but right at Kinsey. Walls has thrown 5 shutout innings. The Beavers do get off the schneid with a couple of hits, but they fail to score. And after 4.5, Hawaii 4, the Beavers nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Discover the heart of innovation and growth at the College of Agricultural Sciences, the founding college of Oregon State University. Since 1868, we have served as the engine of science that drives progress, supports industry, and offers education and opportunity for anyone to grow into their fullest potential. Here, students become leaders who will shape the future of food security, sustainable agriculture, and natural resource management. The College of Agricultural Sciences at Oregon State University. Grow with us. Learn more at agsci.oregonstate.edu.
Hey, Beaver fans, Holland America has been sailing to Alaska longer than any other cruise line. Spot calving glaciers, breaching hunchback whales. With a cruise line that's #1 in Alaska wildlife and wilderness tours. Depart conveniently from the Pacific Northwest all summer long. Have it all with our 2025 early booking bonus and save 60% on the best onboard package. This offer is per person based on double occupancy and available on select departures. Restrictions apply. Visit hollandamerica.com for more details. Holland America, the official cruise line partner of OSU. Go Beavs!
Bottom of the 5th inning, 4-0 Hawaii. James DeCramer was an out away from picking up Ethan Kleinschmidt and keeping the Beavers down just 2-0, but gave out a 2-out, 2-run single to Matthew Muria. Those runs charged Ethan Kleinschmidt. The book closed on Ethan. 3 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, all earned. 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. James DeCramer will try to keep the Beavers close. The damage has been done with a run in the first, a run in the third, 2 in the fourth. Now to the bottom of the 5th. Shunsuke Sakano leads it off against James. First pitch from DeCramer just outside. Ball 1. Sakano followed by Ben Ziegler, Nimona, and then Jared Quant. 4-0 Rainbow Warriors in the 5th. The 1-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 1-1. The Beavers saw excellent pitching yesterday from Sebastian Gonzalez. Cooper Walls today, 5 shutout innings. The Beavers were shut out into the 6th inning yesterday. DeCramer delivers. The fastball misses low and in. Ball 2, 2-1. Cooper Walls today shutting out the Beavers through 5. He's been hit around a little bit in his last 4 starts. Not dramatically, but his numbers certainly less impressive against other opponents than what he's shown today. The pitch, a strike here from James to Sakano. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shunsuke leading off Hawaii's bottom of the 5th with the Rainbow Warriors leading 4-0. DeCramer kicks and comes back to the plate, breaking ball away. Last week, Cooper Walls went 4 1/3, 7 hits, 3 runs earned. Took the loss at UC Irvine the week before, 4 2/3, 6 hits, 3 runs. So he hasn't been hit around terribly hard. But he has 5 scoreless here today, which would be his second best outing of the year. A ground ball into right field, base hit for Shunsuke Sakano. The 6th hit for Hawaii, a leadoff single, and they've been putting pressure on the Beavs all ball game long. That'll bring to the plate Ben Ziegler Namoa, who has a sacrifice fly and has walked. That leads a couple of bodies out of the Beaver dugout to head down to the bullpen. Leif Palmer among them. James DeCramer yielding a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 5th. Hawaii trying to take advantage of that and continue to separate against the Beavs, coming in with a number 9 RPI, and yet down here to the 70th team in that, 79th team in that computation, Hawaii. First pitch missing, high and away, ball 1, 1-0. Rich Hill goes through signs in the third base box. Sakano gets his lead. He's stolen 7. DeCramer throws over there, back to the bag. dives Shunsuke. One ball and no strikes the count to Ben Ziegler-Namoa, left-handed hitter and the leading RBI man for the Rainbow Warriors with 41. He takes a strike and the count 1-1. Cooper Walls went 7 innings against UC Santa Barbara here in this ballpark, Les Murakami Stadium. No runs over 7 against UCSB. This is his second best outing of the year in that respect. The 2-1 pitch, or 1-1 pitch, pardon me, from James misses down and away. Ball 2, 2-1 to Ben Ziegler-Namoa. The Beavs dug one out yesterday, but the deficit was only 2. They've got much more to dig out of today, down 4-0. DeCramer throws to first. Shunsuke Sakino dives back. The series finale tomorrow night will be on the air at 9 o'clock Pacific, a 9:35 first pitch. Wyatt Queen is the likely starter for the Beavs. DeCramer to the plate. The 2-1 pitch, a big chopper to Craig. He nearly overran it. Gets to the bag just in time ahead of Ziegler-Namoa for the out. Springy turf, and Jacob came in on the ball, and it nearly, bouncing off that turf, bounced over his outstretched mitt, but he was able to go up and grab it and then get to the bag for the first out. On the play, Sakino advances to second. Jared Quant, the batter. The switch hitter turns around to bat from the left side. Batting from the right side, struck out and flied to center against Ethan Kleinschmidt, who left after 3+ innings. 4-0 Rainbow Warriors, bottom of the 5th. Sakino at second with 1 out. James set, kicks and comes, line drive, base hit to right field. Sakino on his way to the plate and will score. An RBI single for Jared Quant. Hawaii leads it 5-0. Kamano Nahaku will come to the plate. Beaver Baseball is brought to you by Pacific Office Automation. Local people respond. Local people make decisions. Local people make sure you're happy. Pacific Office Automation. Problem solved. 5-0. Rainbow Warriors. DeCramer throws to first. Back to the bag steps Jared Quant. Quant is a runner. 11 for 14 in steals. No one throwing back of DeCramer. 5-0 Hawaii in the 5th. James set, the right-hander to the plate. Breaking ball strike. The count 0-1. Kamano was hit by a pitch in the second, and really the beginning of sorrows for Ethan Kleinschmidt in the 4th, getting fisted and punching one over the mound between second and the rubber for an infield single. And Ethan from that point was not able to execute his way out of the inning. He walked the ensuing hitter on 4 pitches, and that was at the end of his day. Enter James DeCramer last inning. Hawaii scored twice. They have another run on the board here. Breaking ball on the 2-1 pitch from James DeCramer. Misses outside. And that runs the count to 2-1. Jared Quant at first with 1 out. 5-0 Hawaii in the 5th. James's 2-1 pitch under the hands for ball 3, 3-1. Leif Palmer does begin to throw in the Beavers bullpen. Three and one to Kamana Nahaku. DeCramer set, comes to the plate. Grounded sharply to Caraway. He goes to Singer for one. AJ double clutches. Not able to get the ball out of his glove, and The throw to first is not in time. It was a tailor-made double play ball, but both defenders hesitated a little bit. Trent on the throw to second, kind of double clutch before making the throw, and whether that got A.J.'s timing slightly off, I don't know. But when A.J. made the turn, he too double clutch, and by the time he restarted with the bases set by Alexander Joy Cartwright at 90 feet, Kamana Nahaku able to get down the line and avert the double play ball. 2 down. And we'll see a pinch hitter now for Zage Lancaster. It's Jack Salmon. Pinch hitting for the second time on the weekend. The nephew of the great 14-year major leaguer Tim. Bats from the left side, pinch hits for Lancaster and takes a first pitch breaking ball strike. Oh, and 1 the count. Nahaku hit the ball hard enough that had the Beavers just been clean, fielding the ball, throwing it, it looked like an inning-ending 5-4-3 double play. We'll see if that comes into effect here. The strike 1 pitch, Salmon rolls 1 foul. 0-2 the count to Jack. Bottom of the 5th, 5-0 Hawaii. Beaver Baseball brought to you by Pacific Source Health Plans. They provide human service, not automated phone trees, and they offer extra support for members who may be struggling. Pacific Source Health Plans going beyond what's required to put members first. 0-2, 2 down, a run in. Hawaii scored in each of the last 3 innings. Salmon takes down and away. 1-2 the count. The Beavers have yet to score. Down 5-0, bottom of the 5th. James brushes to a pitch of his selection. He's down. He's ahead in the count 1-2. We'll see what he tries to finish Salmon off with. Comes to the plate, and the slider is fouled at the plate. Kramer swiping to the slider. A very good pitch for him. He has a plus change and a fastball that, when on, indeed has enough movement to render him effective with it, even though it's in the low 90s in terms of velocity. So slow these days. 1-2 the count. James turns and throws to first. Back to the bag. Dives Kamana Nahaku. We visited with Andrew Moore recently on our local show in the Mid-Valley, and he talked about chasing Velo and did himself some damage in trying to throw a split finger and develop some stuff off of his fastball. Kramer delivers and hits Jack Salmon on the 1-2 pitch. Down to second base goes Kamana Nahaku. Jack Salmon, the pinch hitter, hit by a pitch, and that'll bring to the plate the right-hand hitting Kedrod Kinsey, who has grounded to third and struck out. In quest for velocity, Andrew never did really get much above 92, 93 in the best of times. He was such a pinpoint control pitcher, and his fast one had enough movement. He changed speeds, he commanded the zone, but in the end, the measurables caught up with him. Breaking ball from Kramer misses a little low, ball 1-0. So he trying to stay in the big leagues, and he had a decent run there just to get to the big leagues, an incredible accomplishment. And Andrew did say he sustained an arm injury when he, like so many young pitchers, trying to find a little bit more MPH. The 1-0 breaking ball from Kramer outside, ball 2, 2-0. 5-0 Hawaii, bottom of the 5th inning. Leif Palmer continues to throw back of Kramer. Now Haku at second. Salmon, the pinch hitter, hit by a pitch at first with 2 down. The 2-0 pitch to Kinsey, a 2-hopper to Iva Arquette. He'll go the short way to Singer at second for the force. And the inning is over. However, another run for Hawaii. The Rainbow Warriors, a run in the first, a run in the third, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. They're in full command. They leave 2. We go to the 6th. Hawaii 5 and the Beavers nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Blue Sun Inc. Employment Services is your local nonprofit dedicated to providing employment opportunities to veterans and those facing physical and economic challenges within our community. Founded by a veteran in 2013, Blue Sun Inc. has helped more than 2,300 people find employment opportunities, resulting in more than $19 million in wages going back into the local economy. To learn more about Blue Sun Inc. and how you can help provide employment opportunities, please visit BlueSunInc.com. Blue Sun Inc. Employment Services, proud to partner with Oregon State Athletics. Go Beavs!
Do you have a young baseball fan in your life? Les Schwab Tire Centers has partnered with the Oregon State Beavers for your chance to win 4 tickets to a Beavs baseball game and seats right behind home plate. Winners also get a Beaver swag bag and a chance for their young baseball star to be on the field inside historic Goss Stadium during the national anthem with a close-up on the big screen. Enter to win right now at osubeavers.com/Les Schwab. That's osubeavers.com/Les Schwab. Presented by Les Schwab Tires, proud member of Beaver Nation.
The Beavers trail it 5-0 as we go to the 6th inning, but one thing that I think they may be glad to see, now they may not be saying so much shortly, but a new pitcher in the ball game. Liam O'Brien has excellent numbers, though, but just somebody different than Cooper Walls, who stymied the Beavers today through 5 innings and is the pitcher of record. Cooper gives way to Liam O'Brien as we go to the 6th. 5-0 Rainbow Warriors. Cooper Walls went 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 67 pitches. Leaves with a 5-0 lead. Liam O'Brien, some of the best numbers on this Hawaii staff. A young man out of J. John country, South Point Catholic High School in Tucson, Arizona. Began his career at Pima Community College, then transferred to Paradise Valley Community College, then went to Spokane, where he competed for Mark Mactoff and Gonzaga last year, and now having a really big year over here in Honolulu in the Manoa campus, the University of Hawaii Manoa, and takes over trying to keep it rolling from a pitching standpoint. Liam 3-2, an ERA of 2.57, 14 appearances now with 9 starts, 42 innings, just 16 hits, 27 walks. That's problematic, but 46 strikeouts, a batting average against of 122. So as far as Rich Hill is concerned, he's got it lined up perfectly. A great start from Cooper Walls, 5 scoreless, and now his ace out of the pen, and Liam O'Brien misses low, ball 1. To Iva Arquette. The 1-0 pitch, breaking ball away, ball 2, 2-0. And again, the blemish on the line of excellent numbers I just gave you is indeed the walk numbers for O'Brien. 27 of them in 42. He's behind to Arquette, 2-0. The big right-hander set, kicks and comes 2-0. Arquette takes a strike. The count 2-1. O'Brien 6'5", 215. His 4th stop collegiately is in a bad place to wrap up one's career. The 2-1 pitch, Arquette, a ground ball to the shifted over second baseman Sakino, who was behind the bag and throws Iva out. They eschewed the 4 outfielder alignment that time, did the Rainbow Warriors, and Arquette hits into the infield disposition. 1 away, and the batter will be Gavin Turley. Turley is struck out and flied to right. Alexander Joy Cartwright, the inventor of the modern game, essentially. I mean, others contributed, but Alexander Joy Cartwright is the acknowledged by most historians and baseball scholars, the inventor of the game as we've known since 1845, baseball. Turley takes high and away. Alexander Joy made this his final stop. Not necessarily, he was on his way to China, sailing over from San Francisco. Stopped here, fell in love with the islands, yes, but was so seasick on the journey over, he said never again, and he never got on a ship again. Stayed here and planted baseball on the islands. Been so popular here ever since. Gavin Turley takes outside, ball 2, 2-0. And the Rainbow Warriors ingratiating themselves with their fans today. Up 5-0 in the 6th. The 6'5" right-hander Liam O'Brien comes to the plate, fastball outside, ball 3, 3-0. Wilson Weber next. Weber could hit one to Diamond Head in the 6th inning today, and the Beavers would still be behind. 5-0. He hit a 3-run homer in the 6th yesterday for the lead and ultimately the win. The 3-0 pitch, Turley takes outside for ball 4. And that's precisely what the Beavers need. O'Brien has been overpowering. A batting average against of 122. 16 hits allowed in his 42 innings of work, but he has gotten a little trouble with control, and that's ball 4 with 1 out, and now Wilson Weber to the plate. Wilson has flied to center and popped out to second. The Beavs will try to dig deep today here in Honolulu. They've won the first 2 games of the series, trailed big in this one in the 6th. Wilson takes high, ball 1, 1-0. Baseball has been popular ever since Joy Cartwright came west in 1852. The 1-0 pitch, Wilson takes a strike and the count 1-1. When Major League Baseball expanded to the West, with the Dodgers and Giants coming after the 57 season, beginning their eras in the Golden State in 58, minor league baseball in the West suffered. The 1-1 pitch to Wilson down and away, ball 2, 2-1. Particularly the Sacramento Solons of the Pacific Coast League saw their attendance dwindle. Major League Baseball not far from Sacramento over in San Francisco. That a pretty good move on the part of the owner of the Solons. He sold to a group that brought the team here in 1961. The 2-1 pitch to Wilson Weber is low, ball 3, 3-1, and thus the Hawaii Islanders were born and played from 1961 to 1987 in this beautiful part of the world. And I'm grateful to say I got to make one trip over. I remember when getting the job with the Portland Beavers to call Pacific Coast League games, and knew that the Hawaii Islanders were in the league, and delighting to think we'll get to make an annual trip over there. Well, we made one. That was that 87 club managed by Charlie Manuel that Pat Casey and Billy Bean and Jim Wilson and others played on. One trip in 87, 8 games, and then they had the temerity to move to Colorado Springs after that season. A nice town, but not this place. The 3-1 pitch to Wilson Weber in there for a strike, and the count 3-2. 5-0 Hawaii. Top of the 6th inning. The sun breaking through. We've had a lot of cloud cover today. Not right now. Wilson Weber trying to brighten the Beavers picture up, and he takes the 3-2 pitch low for ball 4. Well, there are ways, and then there are ways to get back in a game, and one of the ways, as Rich Dorman has said when he's talked to some of his pitchers, look, the only way that we can lose now is if we give up free bases, so let's don't. How about that? And it feels kind of that way today. Hawaii in full command of this one, up 5-0. But Liam O'Brien, after getting Iva Arquette to ground out, has issued back-to-back walks. A.J. Singer, the batter. The pitch on the way to A.J. is a strike, and the count 0-1. 5-0 Rainbow Warriors, top of the 6th inning. Gavin Turley at second, Wilson Weber at first. No balls and 1 strike, and a balk called on Liam O'Brien. Gavin Turley to third, Wilson Weber to second. Rich Hill asking for time, and Rich making a long, slow walk. It's a long walk to begin with, and at the Walter Alston-esque pace, it's going to take a little while for Rich to get out. I mean, there's very short steps, very slow to get out there. That's the gait I remember in my early days watching Smokey walk out to visit with Sutton or Osteen or Joe Moeller. A right-hander begins to throw in the Hawaii bullpen. Isaiah Magdaleno. We saw Magdaleno for an inning yesterday. He's getting ready again now. No balls and 1 strike to A.J. Singer. The Beavers with runners at second and third and 1 out. And A big moment for A.J. in the cleanup spot, looking for a base hit that could get the Beavers a couple and kind of energize them to continue the comeback. Big moment in the game from Hawaii's standpoint. Rich now turning around and making the slow walk back to the dugout, all the while Magdaleno getting more work in. Liam O'Brien with one out, back-to-back walks. He is ahead of A.J. Singer, but he balked after the first pitch strike. Turley and Weber to third and second, respectively. Liam will work out of the stretch. The 6'5" right-hander kicks and comes to A.J. Singer, who slaps one foul into the upper grandstand and off a seat and into the face of a Beaver fan. Oh, my goodness. That thing got up into the stands. We saw a ball in a similar spot last night careen around. This one hits a Beaver fan. I know so because he's got a Beaver hat and an orange and black T-shirt on. I think he's going to be okay, thank heaven. But it got in there in a hurry. The strike two pitch swung on and missed. Strike three, 2 down. Big moment now for Jacob Craig. The Beavers need something out of this. If they're going to win this ball game, it feels like something needs to happen here. Something. Even an A.J. Singer sac fly would have been helpful, but a good job by Liam O'Brien to come back and get A.J. Jacob Craig has struck out twice. He comes to the plate with runners at second and third and 2 down in the top of the 6th. The Beavers trailing 5-0. The Beaver fans still receiving attention over there, but he's talking about the experience. Craig drives one to left center field and playable. Moving over is Matthew Muria to make the catch. And the first bona fide threat of the day for the Beavers. Actually, they threatened a little bit last inning, too, but it's just kind of how things are going. Second and third, 1 out, and they come up empty. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Leif Palmer will come in out of the Beavers bullpen. We'll get a station ID when we return. Hawaii 5, the Beavers nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield. Hit a home run today by joining Oregon State Credit Union, where your money works harder for you. Enjoy member-focused financial advice and saving money with competitive rates and fees. We started at Oregon State University and we're still the official credit union of Oregon State Athletics. Join Oregon State Credit Union today. Visit one of our 15 branches or join online at OregonStateCU.com/join.
Hey Beaver Nation, here at Mr. Plywood we know what it means to build. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Mr. Plywood goes beyond building decks, storage sheds, and fences. We help build the community. We offer family-style customer service with a friendly and knowledgeable staff that will help you with your next project. If you need hardwoods, plywood, fasteners, or help planning your next project, come down and pay us a visit. We would love to help you on your next project.
A call to the bullpen has gone out for the Beavers here in the bottom of the 6th inning. A clean slate for Leif coming out of the pen with the Beavers trailing 5-0. The call presented by Wilson Equipment. Stop by any Wilson Equipment location for rugged, reliable Bobcat machines that get the job done. Leif Palmer charged to try to keep the Beavers as close as possible, which is right now 5 runs. Ethan Kleinschmidt, 3 innings plus, not able to get out of the 4th with lack of command of the zone. James DeCramer's afternoon is over, and now Leif Palmer in the bottom of the 6th. And before Leif goes to work on Jordan Donahue, 5-0 Hawaii in the 6th, we want to pause and let our network stations identify themselves. 10-second break for station ID. This is Beaver Baseball from Learfield. DeCramer went 2 innings, 4 hits, a run. It was earned, no walks and a strikeout. Leif Palmer in for the Beavs, 5-0 Hawaii. Bottom of the 6th. Jordan Donahue has flied to right and singled to right and scored a run. Hawaii has scored in each of the last 3 innings, and Donahue swings and it's a soft liner right at Jacob Craig. 1 pitch, One gone, and that's refreshing in its own right. That'll bring the catcher to the plate for Hawaii, Hunter Faldo. We've seen Hunter not start in either the first game or the second game, or this one. Has not started in the series, but he's ended up the catcher of record. He swings, and it's a ground ball to short. Iva Arquette fields and throws across to Jacob Craig. 2 pitches, 2 outs. There aren't many things we can be certain of under the sun. And it's a bright sun here in Paradise today. But if experience, if the game, life has taught us anything, it will be that Matthew Muria will take a pitch here. 2 outs, nobody on. 5-0 Hawaii, bottom of the 6th. Rich Hill, perhaps not taking anything for granted in the modern era, asks for time and gets together with Muria, who has one of the game's biggest swings. In fact, I think 2 of them. He opened Hawaii's offensive attack with a double to right and ended up scoring, setting a tone. Hawaii jumping out to the 1-0 lead. He has since flied to right and had a 2-run single. And he comes to the plate here with 2 outs and nobody on. Rich Hill's timeout not only to remind Muria to take a pitch, but also to make the Beavers keep him out there a little bit longer. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Leif Palmer to the plate. Muria takes, low and in, ball 1, 1-0. Leif working out of the stretch with nobody on. The 1-0 pitch, fastball up and in, ball 2, 2-0. 2 pitches, 2 outs, now a 2-0 count. Leif making his 12th appearance, 1-0, the lowest ERA on the club at 0.98. 2 saves, 18 in the third innings, 8 hits, 11 walks, 16 strikeouts, a batting average against of 138, and now the 2-0 pitch misses for ball 3. 3-0. One was hoping that 2 pitches and 2 outs was a harbinger, but Hawaii has been putting pressure on the Beavers all game. Scored in every frame but one, and now they get a base runner on a 4-pitch walk. Matthew Muria down to first, 15 stolen bases on the season, so he's a threat there. Shunsuke Sakino will be the hitter. People that stop here often stay, as did Alexander Joy Cartwright for the seasickness. Aaron Haynes was kind enough to send along a link to an article about a great Beaver. Quarterback, safety for Paul Schisler with the Beavs in 1925 and 26. The first pitch is lined into right field for a base hit. Muria rounding second, on his way to third. The throw on a hop to Caraway, not in time. So there's the pressure again from Hawaii. 2 outs, nobody on, 2 pitches. Rich Hill calls a timeout. 4 balls ensue, and now a base hit to right on the first pitch to Shunsuke Sakano. And the threat is on again. First and third, 2 down. Ben Ziegler-Namoa, the batter. A gentleman by the name of Webley Edwards, who played high school football at CHS, Corvallis High under Speck Keene, then was a safety and quarterback for Paul Schisler in 2 great football seasons for the Aggies. 7-2 in 25, 7-1 in 26. Worked 4 years on the Daily Barometer. Came to the islands in the early 30s, began a program entitled Hawaii Calls, popular for 37 years and broadcast over 400 stations on the mainland. And he is credited as the late Webley Edwards, passed away in 1977, as giving a tremendous boost to tourism here. Now, there may be some divided on the greatness of all of that, but people flocked after hearing the OAC's graduates programs, Hawaii Calls, for 37 years. Thank you for that, Aaron. Ben Ziegler-Namoa takes high and away, ball 1. Palmer, who looked as though he might just breeze through amid the warm tropical breezes here on this Sunday afternoon in Honolulu, delivers a 1-0 pitch for a strike and the count 1-1. But no, Hawaii putting pressure on again. First and third, 2 down, 5-0 Rainbow Warriors. The 1-1 pitch is low, ball 2, 2-1. Rich Hill's timeout, I think it was useful. 2 pitches, 2 outs. You knew Muriel would take a pitch, but whether that affected Leif's rhythm or not, one can never know. But from 2 pitches, 2 outs, we're now at first and third, 2 down, 2-1 to Ben Ziegler-Namoa, who swings and grounds one slowly to A.J. Singer, takes it off the field turf and throws to first for the out to retire the side. Palmer had to work to get the third out after 2 pitches and 2 outs, but he gets the job done. The Beavers are hoping to do the same as we move to the 7th. Hawaii 5, the Beavers nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
A lot goes into Oregon State athletes reaching peak performance for game day, including the right nutrition. At Wilbur Ellis, we know that healthy crop performance requires the same attention to nutrition as an athlete. That's why we use benchmark data points to maximize crop productivity through nutrient efficiency. For 100 years, family-owned Wilbur Ellis has been partnering with Oregon's farmers to grow healthier crops. That is the winning ag experience for Beaver Nation. Locally provided by Wilbur Ellis.
Whether it's OSU Game Day or you're getting ready for OSU Game Day, make sure Dairy Mart is on your playlist. With 39 neighborhood stores throughout the Willamette Valley, Dairy Mart has everything you'll need for a great game. Beer and pop, ice, chips, healthy, fresh-to-go snacks, even hot deli items, and your favorite locked meat dairy products. Stop into your local Dairy Mart and get what you really want for Beavers Game Day.
Dairy Mart is here, man. Dairy Mart's right here.
Through 6 innings in Honolulu, the Rainbow Warriors 5 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. The Beavers, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Both of those hits coming in the 5th inning. Last inning, Liam O'Brien issued 2 walks. The Beavers have left 4 men on in the last 2 frames. Not the best formula for a comeback. They've had a chance in each of the last 2 to get on the board. Still down 5-0 as we go to the 7th. We'll see a pinch hitter for Cannon Reeder. Cannon had struck out and doubled to left. The left-hand hitting Levi Jones will pinch hit. Levi struck out as a pinch hitter in last night's ball game, won by the Beavers 3-2. They're down 5-0 here going to the 7th. Reeder with one of the 2 Beaver hits is lifted. Liam O'Brien to the plate. First pitch strike to Levi Jones. Top of the 7th. The Beavers down 5-0. A late night again tomorrow. We'll be on the air at 9 o'clock Pacific time and 9:35 first pitch. The strike 1 pitch, Levi a fly ball to left center field. Muria moves over a couple of steps to his right, makes the catch, 1 away. Dallas Macias will make his way to the plate. Toyota has partnered with Oregon State to create Benny's Buddies. It's an official fan club for your favorite pets. Each member gets an official social media filter. Toyota and Oregon State give away collars, leashes, treats, toys, and so much more. Sign up your pet today at osubeavers.com/Benny's Buddies. Macias takes the first pitch, low and in, ball 1, 1-0. Dallas has tried to bunt for a hit, was thrown out on a good play by the starting pitcher Cooper Walls, who blanked the Beavers through 5. Dallas fouled out against Walls in the 5th inning. 0 for 2, 1 out, nobody on. The 1-0 pitch, a strike from Liam O'Brien. 1-1 the count. No one throwing in the Hawaii bullpen. Macias checks his swing and takes a breaking ball down and in. Top of the 7th inning. O'Brien and Hunter Faldo, the battery. Ziegler Namoa at first, Shunsuke Sakano at second, Jordan Donahue at short, Kedron Kinsey at third. Macias takes the 2-1 pitch outside for ball 3. In the outfield, Kamano Nahaku in left, Matthew Muria in center, Jared Quant in right. 5-0 Hawaii. Top of the 7th, 1 out, nobody on. O'Brien from the stretch with nobody on. The 3-1 pitch sails way outside. Ball 4. Trent Carraway will be the hitter. Macias does a nice job, and the Beavers need runners. Now, obviously, at some point, base runners are all a very fine thing. They need to make their way around those 90-foot stations created by the inventor of the game who brought it here in 1852, namely Alexander Joy Cartwright. Macias drawing the walk with 1 out. 3 walks issued by O'Brien. Carraway a ground ball to short. Donahue to Sakino for 1 on to first. Double play. No runs, no hits, nobody left, and at the end of 6.5, Hawaii 5, the Beavers nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Want to make a difference for Oregon State University students and alumni? It's as easy as becoming a member of the OSU Alumni Association. Whether you're an OSU graduate, a family member, or a big fan and believer, become a member today and get access to exclusive perks while supporting the university you love. Purchase a membership for yourself or as a gift at 4oregonstate.org/join. That's 4oregonstate.org/join.
Today's game's Benny's Buddies Pet Spotlight, the official fan club of your favorite pet, brought to you by your local Toyota dealers, Golden Retrievers Parker, Reeser, and Gill. These 3 pups are inseparable and love sporting their beaver gear. Sign up your pet today at osubbeavers.com/Benny's Buddies. Each member gets an official social media filter, and Oregon State will be giving away collars, leashes, treats, toys, and so much more.
The Beavers have scored in just 2 innings over their last 20 innings. They trail it 5-0 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. No runs and 2 hits today. Leif Palmer on for his 2nd inning of work will face Jared Quant. Jared will be followed by Kamana Nahaku. And then we'll see about the designated hitters slot. Jack Salmon likely to continue to occupy it. Hawaii, a run in the first, a run in the third, 2 in the 4th, and 1 in the 5th, and they threatened again last inning. Really good ball game for the Rainbow Warriors. A good club. They've been in the 70s most of the year in the RPI, and they started out very well. They were 18-5 at one point. Starting today at 28-16, the Beavers at 34-11. An RPI of 9, according to Warren Nolan for the Beavers, 79 for Hawaii. Jared Quant takes Palmer's first pitch high and away. The big right-hander delivers. Good breaking ball in there for a strike. 1-1 to Quant, who was struck out, flied to center, and had an RBI single in the 5th. 5-0 Hawaii, bottom of the 7th. Palmer back to the plate. Fastball hit high in the air to left field and playable. Dallas Macias moving in to make the catch. 1 away. Kamano Nahaku will come to the plate. Talking about pressure, and indeed, the Rainbow Warriors have put pressure on the Beavers in some way, shape, or form in every inning. Scoring a run in the first. In the second, a leadoff batter was hit. Now he ended up getting picked off. But a run in the third, 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. Last inning, 2 quick outs. Then 1st and 3rd the Beavers had to deal with. The Beavs have yet to have a 1-2-3 frame. Leif Palmer with the sun brightening up the most we've seen it all day long. Kicks and delivers low and away, ball 1 to Nahaku. The 1-0 pitch, a line drive past the glove of A.J. Singer into center field. Carson McIntyre out in center field now. Gets the ball back in. Carson taking over after Cannon Reeder was hit for. And that'll bring to the plate Jack Salmon, the designated hitter. And another example of Hawaii just being on it today. They lost the first 2 games of the series. They've outplayed the Beavers in all phases today. If the Beavs are not able to kind of shake themselves and get it going and come back and win this one, and they're down to 6 outs and down 5 runs and hoping the deficit doesn't grow, the Beavs still have a chance to have what would be, by any reckoning, a good weekend over here if they could win tomorrow. But that's what they need to do. First pitch to Salmon, swung on and missed, and the count 0-1. Jack was hit by a pinch hitting in the 5th inning by James DeCramer. A throw to first on a back pick attempt by Wilson Weber after the swing and a miss. Nahaku able to get back. Palmer's strike 1 pitch grounded to Singer. He feeds Arquette for 1 on to first. Double play turned by the Beavers 4-6-3. Leif Palmer faces the minimum. The Beavers down to their last 6 outs, trying to get it going when we go to the 8th. Easton Tolt, Iva Arquette, and Gavin Turley, the scheduled hitters, at the end of 7 in Honolulu. The Rainbow Warriors 5, the Beavers nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
The game clock is winding down, and so is that plate of piping hot steak nachos. Your eyes are on the last play, but they're also on that last chip, piled high with succulent steak, lending its deep flavor to all the fixins. Just as you reach in, so does your buddy. Game on. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Brought to you by the Ranchers and Farmers of Oregon and the Oregon Beef Council.
Pacific Office Automation is an official sponsor of Oregon State Athletics. Let us help you create your total office solution with copiers and printers, security systems and cameras, managed IT and cloud services, unified communications and telephones, including carrier services, plus temperature sensing kiosks and more. The one source for all your office technology solutions. Go to PacificOffice.com. Pacific Office Automation. Problem solved.
Top of the 8th inning in Honolulu, the Beavers trailing 5-0. At BECU, a member-owned not-for-profit credit union, they're proud to support Oregon State Athletics, and they put their members' best interests first. BECU, Power in People, insured by NCUA. Membership required. Restrictions apply. Liam O'Brien has continued to stymie the Beavers' offensive attack in his 2 innings of work. Starter Cooper Walls, the freshman, went 5 scoreless and 2 hits. O'Brien's not allowed a hit. The Beavers have been extremely quiet at the plate and have been now since breaking through in the 11-4 victory on Friday night. The Beavers had 10 runs after 5. And since then, the Beavers have scored in just 2 different innings. 1 in the 8th that game and 3 yesterday in the 6th on the Weber blast. High time to shake themselves out of that. Easton Tolt takes low and away, ball 1. Easton has walked and grounded to third. Liam O'Brien under the brightening sunshine from the stretch with nobody on. Delivers a 1-0 slider down and in, ball 2. 2-0. A right-hander is throwing in the Hawaii bullpen. Isaiah Magdaleno. Liam O'Brien has had a little control difficulty. That's been his MO all year. The 2-0 pitch is low, ball 3, 3-0. He's walked 3, but he erased last inning's walk with an inning-ending double play ball. And after walking 2 in a row in the 6th inning, he retired the next 2 batters. 3-0 to Tolt leading off the 8th. The 3-0 pitch, Easton shows the barrel in front of the plate, pulls back and takes a strike. 3-1 the count. The series finale tomorrow at 9 o'clock airtime Pacific time. We hope you'll join us. The 3-1 pitch on the way, strike two to run the count full to 3-2. O'Brien trying to come all the way back, stay away from what has been his nemesis and an otherwise really impressive statistical line here in 2025, namely ball four. From 3-0 to 3-2, fastball foul back. Talt still up there, 3 balls and 2 strikes, leading matters off for the Beavers in the top of the 8th inning. The Beavers finally coming home again. It's been a long and arduous road to be sure for the Beavs. They'll be home to Portland Wednesday, 5:35 at Goss. The 3-2 pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Great job by Liam O'Brien. Down in the count, 3-0. Comes back to strike out Talt as the Beavers' miseries continue offensively. It's too strong of a word. You know, Pat Casey was wont to say there are no bad days in Omaha, and right he is. If you get there, there's not a bad day, win or lose. You're there, savor the experience and the accomplishment to be one of the 8 getting to that great event. Hawaii did it once in their history in 1980 under Les Murakami. Les is in the ballpark today. He was in a wheelchair watching BP before the game. He and Mitch Canham had a nice long talk. The legendary man who built this program. Ivo Arquette, a soft liner right at the first baseman. Ben Ziegler-Namoa, 2 down in the 8th, nobody on. Gavin Turley, the batter. So as the Beavers appear as though they're going to move in the direction of what's a bad day in Hawaii, well, if you lose, yeah, and I understand that. That would be a doctrine that the players would embrace. There are bad days in Hawaii, yes. If you lose, it's not a good one. I get that. And the Beavs appear to be on their way to a defeat here today. Down 5-0, 2 outs, nobody on in the 8th. Gavin Turley steps in. But it could be, in the long run, still a very good trip over if the Beavers can find their way to victory tomorrow in the finale. Gavin Turley takes a strike in the count 0-1. 2 down, nobody on. Top of the 8th, 5-0 Hawaii. And on the other side of it, just the aesthetics of the place and the beauty of the place and the fact that the guys, though they may be wearing it a little bit later, and the disappointment of losing here today, if that indeed happens. Turley fouls one away to the right and out of play, 1-1 the count. The early game will give them an opportunity, really, for the first time, without the pressure of a clock on them, albeit late in the afternoon, to go out and experience a little bit of something other than Les Murakami Stadium in the ballpark and enjoy some of the island life, perhaps, in the late afternoon and early evening hours. Turley, a one-hopper to Sakino. The second baseman throws Gavin out. The enjoyment will be tempered by the knowledge of what's gone on here today, unless the Beavers have a miracle rally in them. They don't do much of a thing in the 8th. They go quietly again in order. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Hawaii 5, the Beavers nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Hit a home run today by joining Oregon State Credit Union, where your money works harder for you. Enjoy member-focused financial advice and saving money with competitive rates and fees. We started at Oregon State University and we're still the official credit union of Oregon State Athletics. Join Oregon State Credit Union today. Visit one of our 15 branches or join online at OregonStateCU.com/join.
As Reese's celebrates a milestone anniversary, we're thankful to be part of your good times for 75 years. Our deliciously easy deli salads and ready-to-heat and serve side dishes are always a home run or grand slam, perfect for rounding out a buffet or last-minute entertaining. Keep the good times coming with deli salads and sides from Reese's. Here's to 75 years and counting. Reese's, we're made for good times.
Bottom of the 8th inning. The Beavers trailing Hawaii 5-0. Leif Palmer has 2 scoreless innings under his belt. We'll try to make it a third and give the Beavers a fighting chance to muster a gigantic rally in the 9th. Kedron Kinsey, Jordan Donahue, and Hunter Faldo, the scheduled hitters for the Rainbow Warriors, who've done an excellent job here today. They have not been retired in order. And while they certainly haven't run away and hid, they've commanded the game from the mound and been resourceful offensively. A run in the first, a run in the third, two in the fourth, one in the fifth. Kedron Kinsey will lead things off. Palmer's first pitch, a comebacker. Leif fields and underhands to Jacob Craig. One pitch, one gone. Jordan Donahue, the batter, he made out on the first pitch he saw from Leif in the sixth inning. A soft liner caught by Jacob Craig at first. The Beavers have used Ethan Kleinschmidt, James DeCramer, and Leif. Ethan just wasn't sharp today after a career-high 12 strikeouts and a tough luck loss last week to Oregon. Ethan had difficulty commanding the strike zone, was falling behind most hitters, made a pitch wild in the strike zone that was turned around for Connor Palmera's first home run as a Rainbow Warrior, part of Hawaii building an early lead, and they lead comfortably now 5-0. The first pitch, a strike to Jordan Donahue. Leif comes back, and the strike one pitch is in there for strike two to Jordan, who was flied to right, singled to right, and hit the soft liner caught by Jacob Craig. Bottom of the eighth, 5-0 Hawaii. Donahue awaits and swings and grounds one to the left of second baseman A.J. Singer. He goes and gets it and throws out Donahue. Two down. Hunter Faldo, the catcher, to the plate. And Leif now sitting on one marker that the Beavers have not been able to achieve today, namely retiring the side in order. Leif with a chance to do it here. Hunter Faldo at the plate. Hunter grounded to short against Palmer in the sixth. Leif to the plate. Fastball up and in. Ball one. 1-0. Two outs, nobody on, bottom of the eighth. No one throwing back of Leif. The Beavers hope they can find a way to put some pressure on the home team in the bottom or top of the ninth inning with Wilson Weber, A.J. Singer, and Jacob Craig, the scheduled hitters. Change up from Leif. Good pitch, swung on and missed. 1-1 the count to Hunter Faldo. Beaver Baseball brought to you by Pacific Source Health Plans, with plans for individuals, families, employers, and Medicare eligibles. Pacific Source does what's right, not just what's required. Little bit of Manoa mist blowing through the ballpark. Palmer to the plate, the 1-1 pitch. Down and away, ball two, 2-1. We saw just a little bit of it Friday night, none yesterday. I just felt a little bit of it blowing through. Beautiful Les Murakami Stadium before another sellout crowd, much more pleasing to the locals than the first two. A ground ball to the right of A.J. Singer from behind the bag, up with it, throws to first, and Leif Palmer does indeed turn in a 1-2-3 inning. That's the first time it's happened today. Can the Beavers get hot? Yes, they can. We've seen it. They'll try to get hot and score. They need 5 to avert a defeat here in Game 3 of the series. At the end of 8, Hawaii 5, the Beavers nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Beaver Nation, there's nothing like celebrating a big win, right? Generations of OSU families know that you can't win in sports or life without a strong team to support you. When it comes to your health, P3 Oregon is proud to support Oregonians and the Beaver Nation. The P3 Care Team works alongside your provider to connect you with the care you need in between doctor's visits. Medication management, nursing support, health questions. Our team has got your back. Celebrate a winning season of health. Visit p3oregon.org to learn more.
Did you know that Oregon potatoes are an excellent source of energy for any activity? That's why Oregon potatoes are an integral part of the Power Pack diet specifically designed for Oregon State athletes. They give them the endurance they need to train and to play at their best to go the distance. So if you want to perform at your best, make sure to add Oregon potatoes to your diet. As alumni, supporters, grower, and the official state vegetable of Oregon, the Oregon Potato Commission is proud to support the Celebrate Oregon Agriculture Program and Beaver Athletics. Go Beavs!
Top of the ninth inning, the Beavers trailing 5-0. Need 5, obviously, to try to stay alive, and they'll do so against a different pitcher. They have been handcuffed by the combination of Cooper Walls and Liam O'Brien. Hawaii turns to a guy who threw an inning yesterday to try to close the deal in a non-save situation, namely Isaiah Magdaleno. Magdaleno, I should say, comes into the ball game here in the ninth. The right-hander, 6'3", 215, out of Crespi High School in the Los Angeles area, has been the best pitcher by earned run average for this Hawaii club. He has 5 saves, so he is the bona fide closer, and he has great control. He's only walked 7 in 44 2/3 with 55 strikeouts. 4-1, an ERA of 2.82. He's making his 18th appearance, a batting average against of 208. Magdaleno threw an inning yesterday through 13 pitches. Scoreless inning with 2 punch-outs. And his first pitch to Wilson Weber, a strike. The count 0-1. Wilson with a mammoth home run yesterday. Annihilated, said Mitch Canham. Indeed, one of the more impressive blasts of the year. And all things considered, the way this ball game has gone, and the way the Beavers have really been quiet, save for that one swing since the middle innings Friday night, could end up being one of the more significant swings of the year. Wilson swings and fouls one at the plate. Down in the count 0-2, and the strike 2 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. One away. A.J. Singer to the plate. In that, the Beavs, who appear, certainly it almost seems a non-issue. I mean, they're not going to win this ball game today. 1 out, nobody on. So Wilson getting the barrel out and hammering a 3-run homer last night to help them go up 2-0 in the series gives them a chance regardless of what happens in the remaining innings. Singer blasts one to left center field. This will short hop the fence in the alley in left center, and A.J. into second with a 1-out double. 5-0, the Beavers down, and A.J. Singer with the 3rd hit of the game for the Beavs hopes that may, again, inspire some more activity offensively. The Beavers need a lot of it. Jacob Craig to the plate. 3rd hit for the Beavs, down 5-0. But the Wilson home run yesterday, in terms of the significance, if the Beavers come back tomorrow and win, and thus win the series, taking 3 of 4, that's still a good weekend over here. And it would take the sting out of what's gone on here today. And that home run has a chance to loom large if the Beavers continue on a good path to the postseason. Jacob Craig swings and misses. The count 0-1. A.J. Singer with the 3rd hit of the day for the Beavers. The Beavers' low in hits has been 3. That was against Washington State earlier in a win. The Beavers defeated the Cougars 4-3 with just 3 hits. That 3rd hit gets the Beavers square with that ball game. Yesterday, the Beavers won with just 4 hits. First pitch, a strike to Craig. Now the 0-1 offering down and away. Isaiah Magdaleno comes back to Jacob. The 1-1 pitch is up and in. Ball 2, 2-1. Carson McIntyre on deck. 5-0 Hawaii. Top of the 9th inning. Beavers down to their last 2 outs. A.J. Singer getting his lead from second. The 2-1 pitch down and away to Jacob. Ball 3, 3-1. Magdaleno, a very good control pitcher, comes back to the plate. The 3-1 pitch, pounded foul. Jacob hitting it off his front foot. And maybe he's walking that thing off. That one stung. Home plate umpire Eduardo Ruiz giving Jacob some time, shaking that lower left leg a little bit and hoping that the pain will subside. 3-2 to Jacob. 0 for 3 on the day with a couple of strikeouts and a fly ball to center. Jacob out of the box for a moment. Home plate umpire Eduardo Ruiz not only taking a baseball out to Isaiah Magdaleno, but also dusting off home plate and standing over home plate like an umpire in football, waiting for defensive replacements to shuttle in and out after the offense trying to go at tempo has made a substitution of their own. The 3-2 pitch, breaking ball, down and away for ball 4. Carson McIntyre to the plate. 2 on, 1 out. Beavers trailing 5-0. They've been shut out just one time this year. That was in that drubbing by UC Irvine at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, 12-0. With the Beavers after that, and maybe if they get shut out here again today, that's the you don't want them to. You want to score. You want to put pressure. You want to fight to the final out. That's clear. The last time the Beavers were shut out, they won their next 12 games. They're down 5-0 in the 9th here. 1 out. Carson McIntyre steps in against Isaiah Magdaleno, and the first pitch to Carson in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Carson at 261 in his small sample size in his redshirt year with the Beavs. 6 for 23, a couple of home runs, a big one at UCLA as part of that 12-game streak. The strike 1 pitch, McIntyre takes a fastball for strike 2. 0-2 the count. Five-0 Hawaii, top of the 9th inning. A.J. Singer at second, Jacob Craig at first. 0-2 to Carson McIntyre, Dallas Macias on deck. The strike 2 pitch is popped up to shallow right field. Jared Quant is right there. Puts it away, 2 down. The Beavers are down to their final out. Dallas Macias to the plate. A 3-hit game and no runs. The Beavers an out away on the brink of being shut out for the second time this season, putting them in a position to need to win tomorrow to win this series and maintain, and they would. I believe even a loss today, if they win the series, their RPI, which Warren Nolan has at 9 right now, the NCAA at 10, a series win keeps them in that neighborhood, and that keeps them in the hunt, keeps them in the conversation. They're not done yet today. 2 on, 2 out, down 5-0. Dallas Macias trying to keep the Beavers alive, takes low and in, ball 1, 1-0. Trent Carraway on deck. 5-0 Hawaii, top of the 9th inning. No one throwing back of Magdaleno. He is their closer with 5 saves. A non-save situation, trying to bring the 27th out home. A chopper back of first, fielded by Ziegler Namoa, shovels to Magdaleno covering for the out. The ball game is over, and the Beavers' modest winning streak is over at 2 as they get shut out today by the Rainbow Warriors 5-0 at Les Murakami Stadium. The Beavers equal a season low in hits with 3, the second time they've been shut out, but a chance still over here in the tropical paradise of Oahu to win the series tomorrow night and make it a good weekend. We'll get to all of that, recap the game, highlight scores, and more. Hawaii all the way today. The Rainbow Warriors 5, the Beavers nothing. Our postgame show coming up on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
With a great selection of new Toyotas, everyone knows your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, even your pet parrot.
Right, your summer starts here.
Well said.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends June 2nd.
Toyota, let's go places.
Cut time, cut costs, cut grass. Double your runtime with free extra battery deals on steel tools and cut through your spring cleaning to-do list. Mow, trim, cut, prune. Do it all with Steel Battery. Find your deal at your local Steel dealer or shop online at steelusa.com. Get a free extra battery with select Steel tool set. Set includes battery and charger. Extra batteries up to $160 MSRP value. Offer valid for limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
First Interstate Bank is the proud sponsor of the Community Hero Program. Throughout the year, Beaver Nation has been submitting their community hero stories, and First Interstate Bank wants to give a special shout out to Shannon Kmetic. In 2009, Shannon started the nonprofit Angels in the Outfield. This nonprofit serves children impacted by crime and abuse to provide them with enriching experiences like tutoring, school trips, sporting fees, and lessons. Thank you, Shannon, from First Interstate Bank, proud sponsor of Beaver Athletics.
Blue Sun Inc. Employment Services is your local nonprofit dedicated to providing employment opportunities to veterans and those facing physical and economic challenges within our community. Founded by a veteran in 2013, Blue Sun Inc. has helped more than 2,300 people find employment opportunities, resulting in more than $19 million in wages going back into the local economy. To learn more about Blue Sun Inc. and how you can help provide employment opportunities, please visit BlueSunInc.com. Blue Sun Inc. Employment Services, proud to partner with Oregon State Athletics. Go Beavs!
With a great selection of new Toyotas, everyone knows your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, even your pet parrot.
Right, the summer starts here.
Well said.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends June 2nd.
Toyota, let's go places.
On the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield, Beaver Baseball was brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. Reese's Fine Foods, proud sponsor of Game Day. Mr. Plywood, we would love to help you on your next project. And by Pacific Source Health Plans, doing what's right, not just what's required. PacificSourceMembersFirst.com. This is the Beaver Postgame Show.
The Rainbow Warriors win handily. A desultory performance offensively for the Beavs. Hawaii 5, Oregon State nothing. The Beavers drop to 34-12. Hawaii improves to 29-16. Coming up on our postgame show, highlights, not many, short segment, scores of other games. A look ahead to the series finale tomorrow when the Beavers will be out to win the series and try to put this behind them. If the Bees end up taking 3 out of 4, I just keep saying, it's a good weekend over here. Today's result notwithstanding. The Beavers have scored runs in just 2 of the last 22 innings. They scored 1 run yesterday, in one inning yesterday. The big 3-run home run from Wilson Weber, which if the Beavers win tomorrow and win the series again, that's going to loom as one of the most important long balls of the 2025 season. But the Beavs have gone cold. 2 runs, runs scored in each of the last 22 innings just twice, and none today. And they fall 5-0, putting themselves into a position to need to win tomorrow to take the series, fly back home, and try to get it going again against the Portland Pilots at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field on Wednesday. The final totals, scores, and more coming up as our postgame show continues from Les Murakami Stadium in Honolulu. Hawaii blanks the Beavers 5-0 on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Weyerhaeuser has been proud to operate in Oregon for more than a century. As stewards of Oregon's forest, we understand that every decision we make can impact the health of our communities, our forests, and all the wildlife that depend on it. Through our long-standing leadership on sustainable forestry, we're committed to ensuring our forests thrive on a continuous cycle, today and for future generations of Oregonians. Learn more at WI.com. Go Beavs!
Hey Beaver Nation, here at Mr. Plywood, we know what it means to build. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Mr. Plywood goes beyond building decks, storage sheds, and fences. We help build the community. We offer family-style customer service with a friendly and knowledgeable staff that will help you with your next project. If you need hardwoods, plywood, fasteners, or help planning your next project, come down and pay us a visit. We would love to help you on your next project.
If you know your party's extension, press or say 1. To leave a message in our company mailbox, press or say 2. Spoiler alert, it will be full.
Representative.
Would you speak to your mother in that tone?
Speak to a real human being.
You shouldn't need to shout into the void to get your health insurance questions answered.
Pacific Source Health Plans. This is a real person. How can I help you?
Human service, not automated phone trees.
Okay, you say, I want some breakfast.
Your so-called boyfriend says, we got eggs in the fridge. Obviously, when you say breakfast, you mean McDonald's. Definitely a side-eye situation.
And now it's a BOGO situation with buy one, get one for $1 on